So I buy diamonds and diamonds and diamonds, good lord. Chain after chain after chain was the word. Why did it only say like I don't know? I know, I know, I know you're proud of me. And, somebody good. Oh, it's gonna we're leaving out the day. Uh, Let me see. And I never. So we are live, and yeah, broskies, what's up, man? I know I delayed today. Damn, my apologies, bruh. Oh shit, I have exams tomorrow. You feel me? Not really exams. Our school, bro. Our system is different. Like after every module, after every yeah, it was good. Oh, FBI, my boy, was popping. So after every module that we do, which is like a subject, we usually do it for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that. Then we start doing its exams. So let's say we're doing C++, we do that exam of C++, we do the CAT 2, which is I think something about assessment tests and stuff like that. I don't know what C stands for. And then we do the FAT, which is like final assessment test, which is out of like 40, and the CAT is out of what, 30, and like group works and class works and other stuff is like 30 marks. So all of that adds up to 100. So that's our system. And tomorrow we're gonna be doing FAT for the CAT that we did last week. So um, I think it's gonna be good. So hopefully everything is not really gonna stress me. I can even wait for it tomorrow. It's not very complex though. So I think today I just want us to do some stuff real quick, and even if we spend like 1 hour or maybe two or maybe 1.5 hours, it's fine. That's just it. I want to just keep the streak going. I don't want to lose hope, and I know myself, bro. If I miss a day, it's just gonna kill my momentum. So I gotta push myself, and I'm still ill as well. So yeah, we just gotta keep going, my boys. All right, I think I have this conversation going. That's true about me too, for real, bro. Like it's something about just knowing that there's a streak going. It just makes you feel good. I swear to God. Soon as I don't keep up with that streak, it's over. That's just how my brain works, bro. All right, so as you can see, we have the roadmap. Um, how are you doing, FBI, bro? Did you join our Discord though? I'm seeing our brothers here on Discord, but for some reason uh they are not turning up to the streams. I don't know what's popping with them. I'm gonna say we had wait um had a long day today, but still ain't showing up the stream. Pull up and say hi. All right, I think this is enough to let our brothers know that we are live. Introduction. Somebody said, look, I think yeah, we are going good on Discord, bro. We're going good on Discord. Yeah. Oh my god, hold on. Ah, shit. Bro, this flow thing is not good. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. No worries, no worries. Discord is just a cool place to hang out. It's just a cool place to hang out at. That's why people love Discord. Okay, we have what? We finished JWT, right? So nothing matters without this. We finished that. Now we need link ownership is also done. Dashboard for the front end. I don't think that's what we're gonna be doing today. Let's look at usage limits with the free tier. Also, that one we're not really gonna worry about it. We got analytics though. We need click events table. And I think that should do it. Now, I think we should start with the API keys developer access. I think that's what we should be doing for today. So, uh, let's say now that we are done with the JWT, with the auth, let's continue with part of the roadmap, and um, let's keep it. Let's keep it what I think developer. I would say let's just keep the script going, and I'm just gonna pass in what we have with the roadmap. And another thing is, I would like a little bit of explanation, right? So let's go. API keys are straightforward. I've never really implemented API keys. This is like the first time I'll ever implement API keys, and it's something that all developers should know, like how to implement API keys in your application, so that other people can like provide the API key in the header of every request that they're making to your application. That's if you want to integrate your application with other third-party applications as well. And yeah. I've never done that too, so I'll actually pay attention right now. Thanks, bro. Thanks. What's your real name, bro? Just let me know your real name. 'Cause you seem like a cool person. For sure. You seem like a very cool person. I appreciate the support, bro. For sure. Hmm. What's your real name? I don't want to be calling you FBI. It just sounds bad, you know. My real name is Emmanuel. You can call me Emmanuel or Emma. Okay. We got API keys in it. So this is like a new migration that we have to create. And the next thing is we have to look into the table. Thank you, my bro. My real name is Edward Lil. Nice to meet you. Edward from I think you're from you said UAE. And yesterday we stopped on the part where I told you I knew Arabic, and that's a fact. I know Arabic. But I don't know which side of UAE though. Is it Dubai? Is it goddamn Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi, or where exactly in UAE? Yeah, I really like that side though. I feel like it's just super cool. And how is like the industry? I mean, the industry that side, like the how do they call it, getting jobs and stuff like that. That side, how's it? Okay. Let's see. We got create table API keys. So first we need this migration. We need an ID and we need a user ID. Cascade on delete. And that's the funny thing though. We since we are referencing the user ID, it should delete on cascade. That means if we delete the user, go ahead and delete the API key as well. But it shouldn't be when we delete the API key, we go ahead and delete the user. You get it. So let's see. It is we have the name, we have the key hash and the key prefix, and then the last use that and creation timestamp. So that's what we're gonna be creating. We're gonna create an entity called API key, and then the table name is API keys. So we're gonna create this table. I think we'll just keep it as long instead of like UUID, but UUID is more secure compared to like the regular long. I'm not actually from UI, but I currently live there. Yes, I speak a little Arabic too. Lol. Wait, did you say marhaba? But I live in. Oh, okay. They pronounce it as shariqa, I think. Okay, that's good. Marhaba. Marhaban bake. Is that how they respond? Marhaba is like hi, right? Marhaba. كيف انت تمام؟ ان شاء الله انت بخير. الحمد لله. Something like that. Okay. شارقة. Alright. Not bad, bro. Not bad at all. Edward, my brother. Okay. So let's go and lock in and create this stuff. So we need many to one relationship so that we can attach the user to the API key, and it should be the fetch tab should be lazy, which is also okay. That means if we are not fetching as soon as we shouldn't fetch the user as soon as we get the API key. I mean, it should be lazy time just for performance use cases. And then we join the column using the user ID and it's nullable false. That is fine. And then we just have the name and the key hash and the key prefix. Then the last use that because obviously we need to know when it was used. And then yeah, the creation timestamps. So I think that's all we're gonna be creating. We're just gonna go ahead and create a model. Remember we finished the security part, right? So I think the new people who will just watch starting from these streams, they won't really know what's going on, but they'll catch up. So let's go ahead and put in some work. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of all of this, and then we are gonna have something. I think it's command one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's command one. I'm gonna close all of this stuff. Open this back up. Open the source main Java, and we are going to go to the entities. And within the entities, we have the models, and we need to add. Oh God, we need to add API key. Because the reason why we are having API key, another thing is I'm gonna just get rid of this first. I want to create a new, let's say, git a new branch because I don't want to affect the main branch. In case we have an issue, we can always just delete the branch. That is better. That's the best way to code. So this feature is just gonna be API key. Let's just say API key. We are creating the API key for our platform. Okay, let's go ahead and just reduce this a little bit. Then we can now start grinding on this branch. We're gonna call this API key, and that's a new model. We are going to annotate this with that entity, and this will have getters and setters. I think you guys know why we're using getters and setters. Also, we need to go ahead and just add this table, and we'll give it a name. This is gonna be API keys. I'm so ill, bro. Oh my God. Oh shit. Bro, do you guys hate flu like me, bro? I feel like flu makes me weak. Flu just makes me so weak, bro. Okay, let's go here. We need if you talk less, if that makes you comfortable. Flu is so bad. Yeah, for real. uh I'm okay. I can really speak. It's not like a speech problem. And also speaking out loud, my thought process just helps me like retain the information better. So I'm good. Thanks for your care, my brother. All right, let's see. I think we're gonna need identity, and we're gonna add this to be an ID. And we're just gonna have generated value and a strategy of generated value identity. I understand this cloud is telling us to use UUID. It's also okay to use it, but I would rather just use identity for now. I don't want to complicate it because later UUIDs want they would for just performance cases. UUIDs, they are secure, they are safer, but they add more complexity. It will reach to a point where we shall have to like convert UIDs to strings, and here and there's like so much to do. And I don't want to go through all of that. So we're just gonna stick with the IDs for now. But if we're building like an enterprise application, that's what we're building though, enterprise. But it is what it is. Sometimes it's okay to not really go the extra mile. So Alright, we're gonna need the name, right? Is it the name? Hold on. We need the user. That should be like the second most important thing. ID and then user. After the user, we also need no argument constructor, so we don't have to create constructors by default. And from there, the name, the key hash, and the key prefix. Let's use that and create that. I think that that should be fine. And all of these ones should be nullable, false, except the last use that and creation timestamp. So that is that. And for the user, we're just going to use the actual user object. And as you can see, it's already telling us that, hey, there is no connection between these two attributes. So let's just go ahead and add the connection between the attributes, and we can just say nullable false. Also here, fetch type, we can just say, go ahead and, hey, fetch this in a lazy way. We can just say fetch is equals to fetch lazy, and that is something that we can add with the link as well. With the link here, we are supposed to use fetch type and keep it as lazy. Anywhere where there's like a connection between the two things, so relationship and stuff like that. So that's okay. We're just gonna keep it as is for now. And the next thing is gonna be private string. Instead of API key, we're gonna have name, and private we're gonna have I think, but should it be long, and it's gonna be the key hash. If it's a hash, then it's a string, right? Yeah, if it's a hash, then it's a string. So we're just gonna keep it as a string. And let's see. All right, so that is that. Now the next thing, we're gonna need the key prefix as well. So private string, we're gonna need the key prefix. So key prefix, I think prefix is like the word that comes before the actual word. It could be something like, let's say, like usually, the hash code might be something like, since it's data bucket, we can just start with the prefix like DB, maybe DB key, and then we can have like random characters, or maybe we can pick just from the other base 62 characters that we had, which was equals to like something like this, A to Z, and then A to Z, and 0 to 9, and then we pick random characters from this, and that will be our key hash. Or we can just hash it using bcrypt. Any of this will work, and the key prefix will be the first word that will come before the actual hash. So I think that is that. And finally, we're just gonna have the last use that, which is gonna be local date time, and we can just say last use that, and we're gonna have private local date time created at, which is creation timestamps. And this one will have an annotation called creation timestamp, which will register the creation time. And last use that, we can leave it as is for now. And this one should have nullable false. All of these ones should actually be nullable false, except we can say a column should give us unique. Well, I don't think the name should be unique though. Do we have it as unique here? No, the name shouldn't be unique. We can have similar names for the keys, whatever. Doesn't make sense. But let's just go ahead and just copy. I mean, we can copy this entire column and paste it in here, make the key hash as well nullable false. That means it shouldn't be null. And this is fine. I think now we've created our table. After creating this table, it is now easier to go forward from here. I think we are now done with that. Now creating the migration should be easy from here. I'm just gonna run this. We're gonna have some issues, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just try to run it. Yeah, we're gonna have some issue. I'm just gonna go ahead and run Docker because Docker's not running. And let's see. Let me take some water. Mm, okay, we are getting hydrated, which is good. Okay, now let me run this one more time. It's going to work this time. Okay, we have some migration that we haven't applied, which is why it's failing. What's going on here? We have some issue. User repository defined in this and that and that and that, and is actually, wait a minute, what's this error message here? Unable to what? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Docker compose down V so that it can delete every single thing that we have in our database. And then we just run it again one more time. And hopefully it should run this time. If it fails, then we shall have to correct it. Okay, we have an issue that unable to build the Hibernate session factory. We have nested exception, schema validation missing the table API keys. All right, that makes sense is because we are not running this, but how are we gonna run this if if our database is not running? How are we gonna do that? So it's a little bit complex. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab this first and comment this out first so that I can go ahead and run this application. Hopefully to run. Okay, now that it's running, I'm going to uncomment out this and then go ahead and jump inside our persistence layer. What is it at? I think, oh, it's actually here, persistence. And I'm just gonna open this and open this API key so that I can just create another migration directly using Flyway. I don't have to create like the scripts myself. It is just easier this way. I'm just going to change this location. It should be within the DB and should be in migration folder. And we create this. So we are going to call this. I think there's a name that AI came up with, which is nice. I don't really like to name these migrations myself. So this API keys in it, I think is better. Okay, I'm just gonna say API, API keys or key, whatever. I'm just gonna call it API key init. So this is the initial API key migration, and I'm just gonna add this to Git. Then I'm going to stop this, and I'm gonna go ahead and run everything. I'm gonna say Docker compose down V, and then run this migration together. Like when we run a Spring Boot, it's just going to. Did you define these annotations you're using, or they're imported? Which annotations? I'm getting confused. You mean this? Okay, we actually need no args constructor. Yeah, no args constructor or all args constructor, and no args constructor. That's true. You mean which annotations? These ones here? Oh, you mean this? Because they are imported directly by a Spring Boot. I mean by a Spring framework. You just have to get them from Spring framework. So now that that is out of the way, let's just refresh this so that we can remove these errors. And in a sec, yes, it has removed all the errors. So that means it's now we are not having the latest update. And this is like real production way of building stuff. You know, you need to know how to do migrations and database migrations and database updates and stuff like that. You know, you're not gonna like say Docker compose down V in like real life in production. This is gonna be a disaster. That means you're gonna like nuke your entire database. I see. I was talking about the column, but yeah, I get it now. Okay, that's great. As you can see, Docker compose down V deletes the entire database volume. That means we are erasing the entire database. So this only helps in like in dev or in development because then we don't go like the extra mile of settling the conflicts in case you already did a migration that's conflicting with another migration. That means you need to fix, and it's like it's just a lot of work. That's why I simplified by just deleting everything that's there and then just creating like a entire new migration. That means whenever our application runs again, it checks this entire folder and it goes through one by one up to like version 4, which is V4. Then it checks for the latest updates. Soon as it gets the latest updates, it just applies them. Dax, Dax, my boy, what's good? Rawin 77, what's good, my brother? Welcome back to the stream. How's the project coming up, bro? The project is moving, bro. It's going like, oh my goodness. You guys don't know um how excited I am to like get you guys to use the application as well. URL shortener, the music production application, not music production, but the the beat selling platform. And soon enough, we're also gonna get into AI. I feel like we are gonna get a we're gonna get a crazy break, which is a break of 3 months soon, it is really going to give us enough time from uni so that we can just grind, you know. I feel like we're going to have a lot of great opportunities, great things to work on, and I'll be glad to share with you guys as well, you know. You got authentication and stuff figured out? Yeah, yeah. Authentication is done. And I think you guys yesterday didn't sit through the entire what's his name? The entire walkthrough of how authentication was, you know, the entire flow. So just for the people that really missed it, or you guys want me to go over the stuff, I'm gonna go over it. Yeah, so what we're doing today, today I'm actually just I'm implementing API key integration. So if you guys have been curious, every application that you use, right, every SaaS application, there is an API key, or there's an API that you need to interact with. And for you to interact with that API, you need to provide an API key in your .env variables. So how about you learn how to create that API key, you know, because a lot of people just don't know how the API key like works, because like you provide API key and all of a sudden you have permission to use the application. How is that possible? So that's what we're going to be doing today. But nonetheless, the authentication is also very important. And I'm just going to give you guys like the walkthrough for now. And yeah, it's just simple two endpoints, post endpoints that is like running our entire application. So everything is run always supported by JWT, which is JSON Web Token. And if you see here, we only just supporting email and password login or register in general. That's just it. Soon as you log in, you just provide your email and your password. And first of all, before we do that, I'm just gonna go to the database now, and I'm gonna go to the console, the default console, and I'm just gonna close this off one, and I'm gonna run this. This is gonna grab for us the links, links tables, everything that is inside the links table. We have nothing, and because we nuked the entire database, which is good, so we can start with fresh data. As you can see, we don't have any users yet in our database, which is nice. So now I opened this so that I can show you guys that, hey, soon as we create something, matter of fact, is there a way I can be here and then open this? Yeah, I think there is a way. And I can just reduce this so that you guys can see like a new user getting updated in here. And I think I'm just gonna reduce this. All right, so that should look nice. And we also need to like keep track of like the created at, which is the time the user logged in, right? Or registered an account with us. Okay, as you can see, the endpoint is API v1 auth and register. So we do not have an account. If we go right now and just say login, since it was 24 hours, I think it has expired already. So let me just try. We are getting unexpected error. It shouldn't really give us that. This is like, what are you using to manage the database? I'm using Docker. I don't know if you've been seeing me typing Docker Compose since. I'm actually using Docker. This is the database here. It's just the hosted database, PostgreSQL, that is just Dockerized. I'm just calling it on Docker, and it's just doing like the heavy lifting for me. So did I close the database? I don't think so. I did, yeah, for sure. But it didn't close because it's still active here, which is nice. Oh, Docker's fine. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. This shouldn't give us this ugly looking error. This really shouldn't give us this ugly looking error. It's annoying me. So to stop it from annoying me, I need to know what's going on. Oh, we are getting bad credentials. It should grab the bad credentials error and not just give us unhandled exception. So if we can go back to our application, we can fix this. So I don't want to do it on like on stream. I'm just gonna grab this error and go to GitHub. All right, I'm gonna go to GitHub, go to my GitHub, and then inside, hold on. Hey, you guys, look, man, the GitHub is looking juicy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. GitHub is looking juicy. So, I'm gonna go to GitHub and open repositories and open our filter link backend, and then go to issues and just open a new issue. I love to keep everything looking professional. So I would say maybe unhandled exception, the same error that we got. And yeah, we could write something here, but it's fine. Let's just create this. And it's something we need to like close later. So that I don't forget or whatever, I'm just gonna keep it like this is an open issue, and I'm just gonna leave it for now. So that's something we need to look into. But nonetheless, we continue grinding. So let's go back here, and then instead of logging in a user, since we don't have any user yet, we're going to register a user. And when we click this, you can see we have a new token. We have a token and an email. So the token, we need to grab this entire token, and this is what the user will give us in the header, in the request header later, and then we can decode it and check if the user has you know, or what rights, or the users authorized or authenticated to use our application. I think that's a correct word. All right, so now let's just refresh this database, and I'm gonna send this, and as you can see we have one user logged in, and the password is really hashed. You can tell we provided the password as 1 to 9, but in our database it's not stored as 1 to 9, so that is good. And that means our register endpoint works. And then let's go to login, we go to the body, and within authorization, I'm gonna go to bearer token. Since that's what we are using the bearer token to just verify or authenticate the user. And I'm just gonna pass in that same token that we just got. And without this token, if I just make a request right now, I go to like slash body, and I just make a request, we're gonna get, hold on, why did it just work? Why did why did the luggages work? It's supposed to not work if we don't have this bearer token thing, but for some reason it works, and I don't know why. If we go to register, is it the same? It's not the same really. So why did it just work? It's crazy. Even without the token though. Hmm. Really? Let's just send this request again one more time. Okay. I think I'm tweaking. I think I think something is not right. Let's just send this request one more time. All right. For some reason, it is letting the user. Okay, the authorization header will be automatically generated when you send the request. Okay, I don't know why, but yeah, let's just say inherit auth, or let's just say anything else. Like let's just say JWT bearer or no auth, and let's just send this. We are still getting like, hmm, this is crazy. It should tell us like I don't know why though. I really don't know why we are still getting a user created. So that's very strange. I think that's an issue also that we need to look at. Why did it work? For real. I actually never understood how people can contribute to open source projects. I personally find it difficult to understand a project. I've not been at it since I started. I guess that's my weakness. Read the readmes. That will explain a lot. Try out whatever the project has built. Try out whatever the project has built, and maybe try to improve or fix things whenever you can. Yeah, that's actually like a good realization. If you like, once you look into yourself, you can always figure out like if something is wrong or right. And what you said is actually true. This is like everyone faces this issue, especially open source projects. Not even that, like a lot of people don't even know how to use Git. And soon as you notice your weakness, you can always target it and just work on it. So that's a good thing to know for real. And the advice from my brother Rawin is also very, very good. So, um, yeah, bro, this is something really wrong with this. Okay, I think there's an issue too that we need to address because this shouldn't really work. The only reason why this might work is if we have this authorization inherit from parent, and then we have like the bearer token somewhere. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and delete the user. I'm just gonna go to the database right now and say docker compose down. delete everything, stop this, and then rerun it again and see. God, this flu. Oh my God. Bro, I took medicine. This shit is stale. Oh goodness. So, um, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's now check out this user again. Okay, now we don't have any user, right? That's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to like log in this user. Yes, we should get an error. That's okay. But this is gonna be bad credentials. That's the error that we tested already. The other thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna send this. Where's clear? Can we have clear somewhere? Okay, let me clear this response, and I'm just gonna register this new user, and that is the token that we have in here. So I'm just gonna copy this entire token, copy that, and I'm gonna go ahead and clear this response for now. Can we clear the response? Let's just keep it like that. And the other thing is, I'm gonna go here and just say no auth, and let's just try to log in this user and see what's gonna happen. It's literally logging in the user. Another person's code, no matter how simple it looks, is such an underrated skill. You don't really catch issues in code itself, but unless you, which is also pretty impossible to read thousands of lines of code. Somebody said, and to understand a person's code, no matter how simple it looks, is such an underrated skill. For real, it is, and it's very important though. So, I have demonstrated like the entire stuff, and we have another issue. So the issue is, I'm just gonna copy this and just open this issue that I will look at later. I don't want to like make this today's stream about again authorization and authentication. So I'm just gonna keep these issues coming. In case of anything, we figure out an issue, we open an issue. And that's like the best way to go about stuff. So I'm just gonna open an issue. We have an issue with unhandled bad request. And this is just gonna go here. The description will come somewhere here. And I'm just gonna say user getting logged in, logged in, um, whether or not they have what they have, what's the name, whether or not they have the AWT token in the request header. I'm just gonna create this issue, and that's something that I'll look at later. So that is that for now. I'm just gonna close off now Git and then go back to like our code. So today's stuff, we are done with this authentication or whatever. We also done with the redirect and all of that. So let's just continue with our API key issue, and I will always look at that issues later. How's the stream so far? It's actually going good, man. Somebody said you gotta know where the problem may be, and one way to do it is by using what the project has done so far. Since you probably have only started or a beginner. Hmm. Okay. Rawin has some great ideas. Are you contributing to open source projects? Bro, the thing is, I don't know. With open source projects, it's really like there's always that pressure of like not breaking the not breaking anything, bro. You feel me? Like you have the entire code base in your hands and you're like, damn, where should I start from? Yeah, where to start from is the hardest, but as soon as you understand how the entire architecture is flowing end to end, it's easy to like start creating new features and stuff. And another thing is knowing Git is like a very underrated skill for real. So that should be something that should be in your bucket list to like at least be decent. You don't have to know like all the goddamn rebase, all the merge conflicts, all this and that, but just the basics of Git is really very important. So I contributed a Linux kernel 4 to 5 times. Ooh, damn, damn, that's a big flex. I'm not gonna lie, it's a big flex, boy. I like that. Ooh, that's nice. I'm not gonna lie. So we have that. Now we just have to go ahead and create the request, the DTOs. First, we need a create an API request DTO. We text in the name and the API response DTO. which is actually going to give us the ID. We're going to get the ID back, the name, and the key prefix, and the row key. Only returned once at creation, never again. So we're going to create the row key. And why are we not having the row key somewhere here? Why do we need it inside our response DTO? That's something I do not know about, but it's cool. We are going to return an API key list item DTO. Wait, an API key list item DTO? Why is it named like that? That's amazing. They probably heard my name. They are among the contributors too. So yeah, it was a flex. It is still a flex. You know, it is still a flex, boy. Don't downplay your achievement, brother. You get it? Let it shine, brother. Let it shine. Don't care what nobody says, brother. You feel me? Not anybody can just do that though. I mean, everybody can do that, but you gotta take guts to do that. You feel me? And anything that requires guts, a lot of people don't take the risk. So now let's continue grinding. We have create API request DTO. We need to create that. Create API request DTO and the API response DTO. Those are the two things I normally like to create after creating the models, which is nice. So I'm just gonna go inside our DTOs. Let me close off the models for now, and I'm just gonna open the. Actually, I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna leave the model open. I'm gonna leave the model open, but I'm gonna go ahead and create this new Java record, and it's just gonna be create request DTO, create API request DTO, and I'm just gonna open these on the side. I think just like that. Okay, now that that's done, we are now going to create the request as well. So the next one is going to be a Java record as well, and it's going to be, instead of create API key, we're going to say API, hold on, we're going to say API key response DTO. So API key, instead of request, we're going to say this is a response DTO. And yeah, from here, the request DTO, we are taking in the name as well. So we're just only creating using the name, and the response, we are going to return a few things. First, we need to return the ID, and after that, we need to return the name, and we need to return the row key. I think this is a string, and we're gonna call this row key, which is returned once. So I'm just gonna say this should be returned once. Okay, this is returned once on creation. I think this is it. Once on creation. All right, that is that. And then what else do we need? I think we need the prefix. That is when we have the key prefix and then the local date time created that. So let's just go here and say key prefix and then the local date time and all this extra stuff. Local date time. We need to get the creation timestamp or created that. And yeah, that is that. Let's go here and just press this. And we're good. Yeah, true. So somebody's saying, wait, what's your opinion on anti-gravity? And if you've ever used it, is it basically VS Code plus AI agent? Yeah, it is. I think I have it here. This I use it. I mainly use it for like front-end applications, and basically it provides. I think it is almost like VS. It's almost like Cursor, but the experience is better. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like anti-gravity is just way better than Cursor. For one, the red limits are like friendly. They are not just very aggressive like Casa. For Casa, you can only make about I think 20 requests for like free account. And for anti-gravity, you can literally build an entire application with free stuff without paying none. Yeah, for real. So I think that's a big difference. Otherwise, they're all similar. No one can blindly accept a pull request, I assume. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why it's like, bro. Wait, hold on. If your pull request is merged into like the main branch, that should be the biggest flex. Should be the biggest flex for real. We have now the API list item DTO. Why do we need that? Let me see. We have the key prefix and the last use that, and then oh, this is the list item. So wait, huh? Let me first think. We have first the request. I mean, we have the request to create the API key. And we have the response. This is what we are going to return to the user. And we have the API key list item DTO. The only difference is that here we are not returning the row. Yeah, we're not returning the row key. We are only returning the name, the key prefix, and then the last use that and the created that. So I think those are the only key differences. So I'm gonna go ahead and just create this. This is gonna be a Java record as well. It's gonna be API key, API key something. What's that? API key. What's the name of it? What? Why am I forgetting it, bro? Oh goodness. Oh, API key. Item list item detail. Okay, API key list item detail. Now, the reason why we have this list item is I think with the API key, we don't have to like literally return everything as a whole. We have the name as well as the key prefix. There are certain things we need to hide from the user. So obviously, key, I think prefix should just remain like this. Key prefix should remain like this. All prefix is like a different word. Yeah, prefix is a different word. So we're gonna keep it like this. And then we're going to get local date time. This is gonna be the last use that. And then local date time. This will be what? I think creation timestamp, which is created at. Is it? Yeah, I think it is with the time we created it. Yeah. You're not a contributor if you do not commit to the main branch. I think that is how the contribution count works. Last I checked. Yeah, for real. Yes, definitely. A contributor is someone who has code in the actual main branch of the repository. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I just feel proud that there's a chance that Linus himself saw my work at. Yeah, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. That's almost like Ronaldo. God damn, how do I put it in perspective? I feel like that's how, let's say um, Ronaldo like watching your game. I feel like, imagine if Ronaldo watches your game, like when you're playing. Isn't that the biggest flex? That should be a big flex. Should be happy, my brother. Okay, let's continue. We have the repository that we need to create. So this is the API key repository, which extends the JPA repository, takes in the API key, and we are going to take, instead of UUID, for our case is long, and then we have a list called API key, find user by user ID, that will pass in the user ID, and then the optional API key find by the key hash. So we are going to use two criterias to look up certain stuff. First, we need to look for the user using their user ID and their relationship with the API keys. And then we also need to look for whether or not the key hash exists. And yeah, I think that is that. Let's go ahead and just create that, my brothers. We're gonna go inside our repositories, if I'm not mistaken. And this time we need to create a new folder called API key. And inside the API key, we're just gonna call this, who could say API keys or API key, it doesn't matter. This is gonna be, I think it's gonna just gonna be a regular class. Oh, repository is actually an interface. So this is gonna be API key, API key repository. Right, I think this is, yeah, API key repository, which extends JPA repository, JPA repository, and we are taking in the API key as the model, and the type is just going to be long. and that's it. And there are a few things we need to return as well, or we need to look for. We're gonna say find user by ID, I think, and we are gonna pass in the long ID. Or we can call this user ID, it doesn't matter. User ID, and this is gonna give us our type of instead of this we are gonna actually return the API key, and the API key should be a list, right? Because we want to return a list. And we're gonna say find user by user ID. Let's pass in this. That is that for the first one, and then the second one is gonna be an optional. And the optional, instead of API key, we're gonna say optional with capital. Optional, this is gonna take in our key hash. Hold on, instead of key hash, I think it's gonna be API key as well, my bad. API key as the model, and then find, I think we can say find key by key hash. Is that find by key hash? Okay, let's just call this find by key hash. How did we call key hash? Like this? Is that it? Yep, all of them are in capital, and then we just continue with the key hash. Okay, so now we are done with the repositories. We need to look into the service. Let's say Ronaldo complimenting a goal he made. Yes, that's the best perspective to put it for real. Let's say what a compliment from Linus Travels. Well, Linus Travels. I think he's from Sweden, right? So they say Linus. Is it Linus? Name is funny. Okay, Linus Travels will be on top of my resume for sure. For sure, bro. I swear to God. I feel like if, bro, contributing to open source is very important in a way where it's like it's easy to connect with other developers that are like higher up on the ladder, right? Or in the ladder. Well, I think on the ladder is the right. I don't know if that's an adjective or a verb or goddamn, I forgot my English, you feel me? But yeah, in other words, it just opens ways for you. Like that's the simplest way I can put it. So let's continue. We have our API key service now. Bro, I can't believe that I don't know if it should be this easy, but yeah, it's kind of like, yo, it's easy to create API keys. I didn't know. All right. Let's have a look. Right now we have API keys service, and deny or reject them if I don't like it. Big dog, of course, nah. Who's having the upper hand? You, my brother. They gotta look for you. All right, let's see. We need to call this repository that we created, and we also need the user repository and the password encoder. And I think password encoder is what we shall use to hash the passwords. I mean, to hash the keys. Okay, let's have a look. We're gonna use this API key response DTO, and we're gonna call this as create API key. We take in the string email and create API key request DTO, and then we'll first look up if that user exists by email, or else we'll throw user exception on user not found exception. We'll pass in that email, that is fine. From there, we generate a secure random key, and yeah, this is like the most important way to do it. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, how we generating that? We are gonna say SK Live. What does SK Live stand for? I've seen this in like so many API keys. What does SK Live? Hold on. SK Live. What does it mean? Let's see. SK Live is the prefix Stripe uses for live production secret API key. What SK Live means? Secret key. Oh, it's actually secret key. Speaking of looking up users, how are you storing users' passwords? Are you hashing them before storing them? Yes, I am. I am. Do we have to do a little demonstration? I think I already did. But yeah, if you're curious, we can just send this request and you can see the actual password was 1 to 9, but right now it's stored as a hash. So what's happening is that when we are creating a user, we first have to go through our database, check for the existence of the user. The user doesn't exist, then we can go ahead and create a user. And while we are creating the user or logging or registering the user, we need to first hash the password before we store it. So we are hashing before storing. Learning Git would be step one for contributing to kernels. Still very overlooked. A lot of people don't even know Git, bro. That's something which surprised me. It's like, bro, in my college, people are just living life on autopilot. And I, bro, you ask like certain people, it's like, bro, what's your GitHub account? These people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm like, yo, yo, it's crazy. So yeah, I think that's crazy. That's neat. Do you apply the salt technique? I forgot its name. It's actually bcrypt. If you look at the config, I think yeah, the config explains it all. Have a look at what's happening. We have the config here. We have a bean that is actually just giving us the bcrypt, and bcrypt is is actually a salting algorithm, or I don't want to be wrong here, but bcrypt applies something called salt, right? Salt, which is like a random, I think eight digits or eight figures or eight characters, random characters, something like that. It could be 10. Yeah, it takes your actual password and then it adds the salt to it or whatever. It's just like random characters that are hard to guess by different combinations. So in general, this is the password encoder that we are actually just using this bean, and we are calling this. Notice how we are creating a bean, which is, I don't know how many times I've said bean, but you get a point. So we have password encoder, and we are returning bcrypt password encoder. That means whenever we are using password encoder, we are directly using bcrypt. And bcrypt, I don't know how I can explain this, but yeah, let's just say bcrypt. Bcrypt means what? So bcrypt is a password hashing function designed to securely store passwords by turning them into fixed length, unreadable strings hashes that are very hard to reverse or crack. So bcrypt stands for, the name is short for Bullyfish Crypt, which is, yeah, you get a point, my boy. What's up, Filthy? Yo, what's good? Johnny, what's popping, my brother? Are you real Ahmed Moghal? Because I always confuse like people with like their aliases. You get it. So I think you are real Ahmed Mughal. Gmails and stuff don't work when you send your work. Wait. What do you mean? Don't work when you send your work, since that's how contributions work with Linux distros. Learning Git is like breathing in that environment. Wait a minute, bro. Who uses Gmails and emails to send code changes? God, that's funny. That gotta be the hardest thing ever. Because do you know how hard it is to come up with an email to send someone, bro? Like sometimes you just have to be so fake. Like, especially when you're responding to. Hold on, let me. So this exception is not thrown. I'm just gonna remove it. um Especially when you're trying to respond to like one of these officials, they just sound so fake sometimes. Like, received with thanks, like, yours truly, goddamn, yours faithfully. Like certain things just sound fake to me. You get it. So certain stuff is just so fake, dog. You don't contribute through GitHub, so emails are used. Oh, wait, hold on, are you for real? No. No way, bro. It's my first time hearing that. Yo, hold on. How to contribute to open source or maybe Linux? Linux, goddamn. Yeah, let's say which means should I use Git? I feel like when the question is vague like this, I get the correct answer. Let's see. What's going on here? Do you use emails though? It's my first time hearing that. Yes, she is Git to contribute to Linux as its official version control system hosted at the kernel. What's my brother saying? Wait, what emails? Cause that's funny. It's my first time hearing that. Um, wait, hold on. Email patches to relevant maintainers. Oh, so if you have patches, you just have to email them. I think that's it, right? Oh, you can't make changes. Wow. Wow, that's tough, bro. Yeah, bro, that guy. I feel like he doesn't want people stealing his hard work. Yeah, bro. Yo, if it was me, I would do that too, right? Emails for submitting patches. Yeah, as you can see. Okay. That makes sense. 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 Wow, bro. I didn't know there was so much politics like that. I didn't know for real. All right, so I think you get the point, my brother. I was still explaining the hashing algorithm, but I think you got it now. Oh, that's crazy. All right. Uh, I like it when I learn new stuff though. Like that's the reason why we stream, bro. We live stream so that we can learn from each other. Like every single day, at least I know I'm walking off with something. So who reads through all of these emails? I think maintainers, right? I think maintainers. And how do you become a maintainer though? That's something I'm curious about. How do you become a maintainer? And it gotta be a very complex work though. Because like open source, that means there's thousands of people providing code every single day. So it's like, damn, bro, I gotta sit through all of this shit. Oh, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I wouldn't flex about small bug fixes. that's that's a fact. Imagine changing a variable and it's like, oh yeah, shit, you guys use camel case, but in production it's good to use small I mean snake case. So that's an issue that I'm pushing. I want you guys to like it's like people look at it like, damn, what's going on? You get so yeah, yeah, nah, bro. That give me the worst flex ever. Ah, okay, we look up the user. After that, we have generate a secure random key. So string row key is equals to sk secret key live plus generate secure key, and then we have string. The key hash is actually password encoder dot encode, and then yep encode the random key, and then the prefix is random key dot substring. Yeah, so it's gonna look something like this. All right, then that looks good. We're gonna grab the first character starting from index. I mean, we're gonna grab characters starting from index 0 up to index 12, and then API key, new API key, set user to that user, and then API key name to the name, and then the key hash to the key hash, and the key prefix key to the key prefix, and then API key saved is equals to this. We save it to the database. From there, we return the response DTO, we return the ID, return name, and we return the prefix, and then we return this row key, which is returned once and never stored row. Oh, it's never stored row. Okay. But what's stored in the database that we actually, what are we hashing? I'm getting confused here. We are hashing the API key itself, right? It is never stored row. Yeah, it's never stored row. So we are storing it as a hash value. That's correct. So it's not stolen. Um, hold on. Is it my internet? Don't tell me my internet is tripping, boy. Okay, it's not my internet. I don't have any dropped frames. Keep going, brother. Anch, thank you. Thanks for joining the stream. I think you were on stream yesterday, right? I think you were on stream yesterday. All right, let me catch up with the chat. So you guys are like, you guys, somebody said that's crazy. I was lucky waiting for someone to say coders can send patches through SMS. Uh, that's funny. That's a crazy, crazy funny comment. There's a huge hierarchy in these approvals. Leaders wouldn't bother about small changes. Only patches would be overlooked by him. Uh, Wait, hold on. I want to ask, right? What is a goddamn patch? Like, what is a patch? Because at this point, I'm thinking like patches are maybe just small changes. A patch, a patch generally refers to a small piece of material or code used to repair, cover, or improve something that's damaged or flawed. It is something. Its meaning shifts by context from everyday fixes to, in reference to coding or open source. I think I think open source contributions should be something we need to look at. Contributions. All right, let's see. Open contribution, open source contribution. Okay. Encoding and open source contributions, a patch is a file often generated via Git diff. What the hell is Git diff? I don't know. It's my first time hearing this, by the way. So, Git format patch that captures precise changes to the source code, like additions, deletions, or modifications. Okay. Now I understand. For review and applications to a project. So yeah, developers create patches from diffs between the code versions, typically to propose fixes, features, or refactors without directly pushing to a repo. Tools like Git produce. Okay. Are you prepping for interview? Not really. I'm not in any interview prep at the moment because I figured out it's like a waste of my time at the moment because um in order for me to get like better opportunities, I need to like have good projects. And in order for me to have good projects, I gotta grind. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to tackle the grind first, which is like building good projects. I have already one good project. I need another project that at least can make my resume stand out. And yeah, imagine with just the projects that I have, I'm already getting some returns. Like I'm getting like callbacks and people reaching out to me, which is good, but I want more. And the more I have, it's easier for me to like now start prepping for interviews and shit like that. So interview prep will come with time, but at the moment, yeah, I just took a break on that. And it's like super boring, like having to do all of this goddamn DSA is just super boring. I don't want to waste my time doing that. Do you specialize in DevOps? Wait. Git diff is a command line utility used in Git to compare differences between various states of repository. Yeah, I use Git diff head shortest start often to see how many lines I added, removed, and says, "Yo, you guys are ahead of me when it comes to Git though." This makes me feel stupid. It's like, bro, I didn't even know Git diff existed. I didn't even know none of that shit. I only knew git commit, git add, git dot this, git add to the staging area, add commit, push, create a branch, and that's all. I feel like that's what I use day to day. Oh God, I need to really lock in, bro. I actually have everyone in the chat. What do you guys specialize in? Yes. Boys in the chat. Whenever you come to the chat or whenever you're in the chat, like try to be super fast when it comes to typing, or don't be super slow. Type real quick and let us know. We got a brother asking. So, a review site. I want to suggest you to review a site which is free now. Hmm. All right, that won't be at the moment though, because we are trying to finish something. But as soon as I finish this, I will look into it. So yeah, no problem. Let me just finish what I'm doing, and we're gonna do all of that extra stuff. So at the moment, the chat is asking for what you guys are locked in on, and yeah, let me hear what you guys are, working on or whatever, specializing in. Oh, bro, I only started to understand Git like a few months ago. I only got into it when I started to work on a project with my colleagues and we needed an environment to ease corporate cooperation. Okay. Oh yeah. That's actually very nice. Imagine, bro. Like imagine if Git didn't exist. Like imagine if like version controls and I know developers would like think about that to fix it, but imagine if it wasn't there though. I feel like companies wouldn't exist, right? So all these companies, they all owe this guy like a lot. And not even just this guy, because if the creators of C and C++ didn't exist or didn't create C and C++, it wouldn't have anything to do with Linux, right? Yeah, man. So we owe those people first. The language guys are the people that deserve the biggest pat on the back, and then the guys that use the languages are the ones that also deserve another pat on the back. So I don't know. We are the ones, we're just liability, right? You specialize in software engineering in general, and specifically game engines architecture. I'm working on early version Java game engine. My boy is locked in. I can't say less. I mean, I can say more. He just locked in. That's crazy. So it means you're a crack dev, huh? That's great. All right, let's have a look. So I'm gonna have to continue with this. Looking up the user using their email. What else we throw? And then after that, we generate this using the random keys. I generate secure key. It's something that we need to create. We need to create a, yes, this is gonna be a helper function that is going to just generate secure key. We're going to use secure random. Random is because a new secure random, or we can just say random. Random is because a new secure random, still the same. And then we're going to have um bytes, right? This is an integer, no, bytes array. We're going to create bytes array is because a new byte of 24 bytes. And then random dot next bytes, we pass in the bytes, and then we return base64 dot get URI encoder dot without padding dot encode to string, and pass in the bytes. So without padding, it means no spaces, right? And then we just pass in the bytes, and that's what we are going to use here to generate. And then after that, after generating that, we have a key hash. Then we encode password encoder dot encode. We encode the row key. And the actual row key is we have SK live, we have secure key, secret key live plus generate secure key. That is all. And then the key prefix is going to be the row key dot substring. We pass, we only pick the 12 characters. Then from there, this is just normal stuff. So I think that is what we're going to do. That's the first thing we're going to do. So let's go back to our application and start cooking. So I'm going to go to services, and within the services, I'm going to open this and create a new class. I'm just going to call this API key for now. API. I think this should be API key if I'm not mistaken. Dot API key service, right? API key service. Okay, that will create API key service like this. And then I'm going to annotate this with add service. And we are going to need required argument constructor. And we are going to grab private final, user repository, user repository, user repository, private final, API key repository, API key repository. Do we really need to use API key repository? Yes, and we also need password encoder and private final API key repository, API key repository. I think, yeah, that is all. Okay, from there now, let's go ahead and create a new method. This is gonna be public. Um, I think it's not response entity, isn't it? Oh, not response entity because we are inside the service. So this is gonna be API key response DTO and create API key. Okay. So API key response DTO, and we're gonna say create API key, create API key. First, we're gonna take in a string email, and we are going to now get the create API key request DTO as DTO, and that is it. So the first thing is to check for the existence of the user. I'm just gonna close this off. Also close this off. Close this off. Sup, bro? Been a minute. Anu, hold on. I got so caught up coding that I forgot that you guys are cooking in the chat. All right. I like to take this regular break so I can catch up with y'all. So my boy said it's actually gonna be a graduation project from. Hold on, let me first catch up with what you guys said. Okay, specializations, as somebody said, that's dope. And it's actually gonna be my graduation project from uni too, but it's gonna be a 2D game engine for now, nothing fancy. Another thing is my graduation project is also ready. Oh my goodness, God, that feels good. And somebody say game engine. I'm learning that too. So still working on graphics APIs. I don't know if wait, game engine with Java. So that means if I already know Java, I can also contribute to that, right? Or maybe learn something from that. Hmm, that's good. Another thing is, oh, somebody said thanks. Okay. Oh, my boy Anuj Pakash. I think I used to troll this guy, if I'm not mistaken. I used to troll my boy Anuj. Is your name Anuj or Anuj Pakash or whatever? But Sabra, it's been a minute. Yeah, for sure. It's been a minute. How you been? Uh, Somebody else said that's cool. I'm currently working on. Okay, you're responding to your brother. I see my learning flow is very different from what others start or what Dev does that too. So actually, people begin with like a window very early on the stuff. I only like building some systems from scratch, like login and event system before touching Windows. So, yeah. Um, Here's the thing though. I wanted to make a point, right? Um, is it easier to like do game dev compared to like AI, like machine learning? Which one is like very lucrative? I think AI is more lucrative, but game dev is more enjoyable though. I think game dev is more enjoyable because you get to interact with like you get to play your game, you know. What do you think? My professor advised me to use an existing login library, but I decided to make my own. Bro, you know what? Um, building your own projects, there is nothing like it, bro. Like just something that feels like is yours, you know? When you own something, that sense of ownership is just very expensive, bro. I think game development is tough. Oh, my boy, Amir was good. Game dev is tougher. No, no, not really, bro. Not really. There's not so much that goes into game dev. Yeah, you could say maybe this, but game engines are already there, right? So I'm talking about like real life machine learning where you have to deal with like goddamn you have to deal with calculus. Like take calculus 2 for example. Like you want to goddamn um create something like prediction algorithm. You know, you have to know matrices, goddamn 2D, 3D matrices. It's a lot, bro. Integration, differentiation, like crazy complex probabilities and probabilities, not probabilities. I think probabilities. Yeah, something like that. And it's like so much, bro. Yeah, I dropped it. It's my first passion, love. Mm. I feel like with game dev, the only reason I would say game dev is expensive compared to machine learning, but machine learning is also more expensive though, because then you gotta deal with like GPUs and so much. Like, goddamn, all of them are really hard. They can be hard in their own ways for real. Matrices are also used heavily in graphics. Oh, I didn't know that. Hold on, graphics? What do you use matrices for in graphics? What do you use matrices for? Let's think. Let's say a 3 by 3 matrix, matrix rather, a 3 by 3 matrix. What would you use it for in like graphics? Could it be to like render something? I don't know. How do you use it? I think that's just subjective, bro. For real. ML is more coming up and solving issues. Game dev and production labor is tough with all of the teamwork you have to pull off. Yeah, I feel like okay, game dev is more established compared to like machine learning. So machine learning is like this new stuff. It's not really new, but it's like something that people are just catching up on. But game dev been like there since, right? Ever since. It's like easier. It's like more resources for game dev compared to machine learning. ML can feel harder because it's fairly new compared. Yeah, that's the same point I wanted to make. The same point I actually wanted to make. So yeah, yep. So user is equals to user repository dot find by email, and then we just pass in the email, or else we throw an error, and it's gonna be user not found. Do we have a custom exception for that? Do you have a custom exception? Let's have a look at our exceptions. We actually have results not found, which is nice. So can you guys notice how like our application is now getting complex day by day? Have you guys noticed that our code base is just growing day by day? I don't know if you guys are noticing. um we are building in public. That's like the main point of all of this. But can you guys see how we are now like getting bigger and bigger when it comes to the code base? It's crazy. Soon enough we're gonna have a hard time like going through all of this. So we are gonna have to refactor certain things. So that's just a point to note. So new user not found exception, username not found exception. I don't think that is what we should use. This like looking for the user. We are not using. We are not looking for the username. So we're gonna say new resource not found exception. I think that should make sense. And then we just pass in that email. Yeah. And then from there, after finding the user, if we have the user, then we can go ahead and create whatever we want to create. So, oh my God. So first, I need to create the algorithm. So we're gonna say private generate generate secure key generate. I think that's the correct word. Generate secure key, and that's a method. I don't know what's gonna. Okay, this is a string actually because we're gonna return a string, and here we're gonna take in a string, and we could say key or name or whatever. I think that's the same thing here. Let's have a look. Okay, it's actually we're not taking in anything in the my bad. We're not taking anything in here, so let's go ahead and first return something. Now it's private because we are only using it here. Private not allowed here. Make this not private. No, why? Hmm. We are not using it inside this public thing though. Wait, am I tweaking? This should be out, right? Should be outside or inside? This should be inside or this, so that we can go ahead and create this. Yeah. So, um, wait, somebody's saying, to render to render to render an object, you actually need a matrix that defines its position, rotation, scale. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now I see. In perspective, I feel like the matrix handles, yeah, because it handles, you can have the position, the scale, the rotation, the angle, and these other, all of these other things. And then the matrix is like good because it helps you uh know that, hey, the angle, because the matrix is like, let's say 3 by 3. What I'm acting like you guys are seeing what I'm doing, but yeah, in general, like let's say we have a 3 by 3 matrix, or maybe something like 3 by 3 matrix, then something will the first, you have to go like this across and then down. No, not actually, that's not how you multiply matrices. Yeah, yeah, you actually multiply across and down. It's like 3 times the first character. I mean, 3 you multiply it down and this side and the diagonal. Yeah, 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 yeah. That makes sense actually. That makes sense. Damn, I didn't know. I didn't know for real. Okay, secure key. Let's have a look at that. We need, I'm just gonna have random. We're gonna say random. And instead of new random, we're just gonna have new secure random. And then yeah, secure random. From there, we need to create that random stuff. What are you guys saying? I'm actually a ML student. What? What are you doing with ML? What are you doing with ML, my boy? Okay, oh, we are using bytes, so we need to create a byte, an array of byte, 24 bytes, And then we have random dot next bytes, we pass in that byte, and then we return the basics to we encode to string, pass in the bytes. Okay, that makes sense. We need to create bytes. We can just call these bytes is equals to new fixed array byte. So it's actually the way to read this is we need to create an array of bytes with fixed size of 24 bytes. I think that's the correct way to read it. And then we're gonna have random dot next bytes next, oh yeah, next bytes, and then we pass in the bytes. Then from there we just gonna say return. We need to return base 64. Do we have that base 64? What are we returning? Hold on. Oh, base 64. So yep. Base 64 is inbuilt inside Java. I didn't know that. Base 64 dot get URI, I think. Was it URI? Legit rage bait. Hold on. I'll catch up with the rage bait. Oh, we need to get the encoder URI. Encoder URI. Get the URL encoder. Not the URI, but URL. I think that's it, right? Yeah, get the URL encoder method dot encode dot without padding, right? Dot without padding, and then encode to string. Then we encode that bytes. All right, so that's we are not trying to generate goddamn what's the name? Expected an expression. Huh? What are we doing? Okay, this. Wait, what are we having here? Hold on. Are we having some issues? We have private string generate this. This should actually be outside of this. I don't know why we are creating a helper function inside of this. That's why it's tripping. So the helper function should be out. Somebody is saying that matrix basically encodes position plus scale plus rotation. These kinds of matrices are called affine matrices or TRS matrices. Affine, dude, head that guy's geometry. Legit rage bait mathematics. One little trick is that inverting matrices is very heavy and rendering requires thousands of 8 per frame. Affine matrices have a special way to invert them like times 4 faster. Libraries like JOML in Java, built-in functions for that. Oh, okay. Bro, it seems like Java has built-in functions for everything. At this point, bro, Java has a built-in function for everything. And the question is, how do these developers just keep coming up with this, bro? This shit just surprises me sometimes. All right, so we've generated the secure key. We have a helper function or helper method. I keep saying function because I'm a JavaScript nerd. So yeah, let's just focus on Java, which is method. So okay, after we look for the user, we need to now create the string. We're gonna say key. I think this should be what the row key. If I'm not mistaken, the row key is equals to we can have sk or secret key and then life, that's a prefix, then plus the generate secure key method. And then we are going to take in a string, and this will be the key. We can say maybe the key hash. Key hash is equals to the row key dot, hold on, not the actual row key. We're not going to use the row key directly. What am I talking about? Key hash, not key hash. Okay, for the key hash, we are going to use password encoder dot encode. We need to encode the row key, and then we need the prefix. So private. No, we're going to use a string, and we're going to say the key prefix. The key prefix. The key prefix is actually going to be we need to get the row key dot substring. Substring, we need to start from the first index up to the 12th index. And that is that. So I think that is that. Now we are going to use now API key. API key is equal to new API key. Then we set just API key dot set user to the user. We attach the user to that, and we continue grinding from there. And then now let's look at, I want to keep this response DTO open so that we know what we are going to be returning from that method. Let's close this out. Let's open the service. All right, so the API key, we also need to use the API key. API key dot set. What are we setting? We are gonna set the key hash to the key hash to the key hash. Okay, and then API key dot set. I think we need to also set the prefix. The same applies to the ID as well. So what is the ID? ID is going to be API key dot set ID to DTO dot ID. I think. Hold on, do we have that? Oh, we need to set the name. My bad. Um, set name, not set ID. Set name to DTO dot name. And what else? Do we need the ID? I don't think. Okay, we have the user. We set the name, the key hash, and the prefix, and that's okay. I think that's all. We can start with the user or the name. I think let's just start with the user, and then we'll follow with the key name, and then the key hash and the prefix. And from there, we just save it to the repository. So we're going to say API key saved, I think saved API key. This is okay. We could just click, but let's keep this. Saved key is equals to API key repository dot save, and we save that entity as API key. So from there, we are good to go. Then we can just return all of this. I think we can just return whatever that we have here. We need to return the ID, the name, the key prefix, the row key, and the created at timestamp. So yeah, we are cooking. We are cooking. What are you guys saying in the chat? And have you seen Java's documentation for every single class? It's magic. Best thing about computer science and engineering is that any foundational feature is instant and scalable to any sort of work. Yeah, my favorite part is that there is documentation for everything. Well, I guess other places or other fields have also documentation. But bro, you cannot convince me to do architecture. I mean, like the real life architecture, building stuff. But buildings and all of that, bro, you need to know like certain angles, certain goddamn slanting stuff. Bro, have you guys done like architectural diagrams for like buildings? I did that, bro, and that stuff was like the hardest. You gotta use certain millimeters. I mean, like I think we used to use something like micrometer screw gauge or something like that. Small like small stuff. It's just super stressful, bro. You just miss small slight angle. Your entire diagram is just gone. So I don't know if it's just me that faced that, but it's crazy. So we need to return new, not new, but we need to return the API response. I think it should be new because it's a new method that we're returning. So this is gonna have everything that we need. The first one will be API key dot get ID. We need to return the ID, and API key dot name get name, API key dot key prefix. I mean key prefix or key hash. Let's start with the prefix, and then API key dot row key. I think, do we have the row? No, we don't have the row key. We're not returning the row key. Am I stupid? Oh, am I high, bro? Key prefix, yes, we're returning the get last used that and last created that, and then we're returning it as to list. Hold on, what am I doing? We're returning the key prefix, right? And then we're returning the row key once. Do you know Kotlin? Not really. I don't know Kotlin, but it's almost like Spring Boot. If you already know Spring Boot is easier to switch. Somebody is saying My brother's a civil engineer. Yeah, civil engineer is no joke. Engineer drawing and fascia. Bro. Trust me, here's the thing. I think I have a picture. I don't know if I can. How can I retrieve that picture though? I swear, I legit just to. Hold on. Let me look at photos. I swear to God. I think. Hold on, bro. I don't know if I can access it, but I can. For some reason, I can't access that picture. But I swear to God, bro, I used to. Yeah, I can't access it for some reason. But I used to have like I used to work with like my big ass ruler. It's like some big ruler like this. It's like a T. I think it's like a T-shaped ruler. I think it's T-shape. Yes, T-shaped ruler. That yes, a T-shaped ruler that you put like a you have like a big ass white paper, and you have to put that T-shaped ruler in across the table, and that T-shaped ruler is like what you use to like draw your bro. That stuff was not easy. That stuff was not easy. I used to hate my life for that, bro. And I gotta move with a big ass ruler every time on my back, and it's just like, god damn, you know. Back when I was in Egypt, though. I don't know if you guys know this uni, but yeah, I think it is Cairo University, Cairo Uni, Faculty of Engineering. Yeah, this was my school. This is where I used to be at every single day, dog. This is my uni. Somebody is saying, do you know Kotlin? No, I don't. Unfortunately, bro. Faculty of Engineering, not this one of Giza, but I think it's in what? Not the Giza one though. Wait, hold on. It is literally crazy. I think they use Revit nowadays for modeling and stuff. I really don't know about that. Kotlin is for native Android development. Yeah. It's actually you can even use it as a Spring Boot too. Like you can use it to build apps for anything. Like it's also I think Kotlin is not multi-platform. Is it? I think it is multi-platform. Yeah, Kotlin is multi-platform. Oh my God, that's so true. And you carry the ruler inside a big white paper. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I swear to God. This hold on. For some reason I can't get I can't get this stuff. Hold on. I can't get this stuff, bro. Wait, Cairo Uni, Faculty of Engineering. What? What was that name of the Sheikh Zayed? Okay, I used to be in Sheikh Zayed. Sheikh Zayed. Yeah, something like that, Sheikh Zayed. I think this is where. Yes, this is the one. I can see the images. Why is it so slow? Yes, hold on, bro. Sheikh Zayed. Yes, this used to be my campus, bro. And I go every single day, bro. Like I have to struggle and reach this school. The school used to be super far from me, bro. I used to live in like Faisal, and I have to go like in the morning. It's like so many bro. Egypt was not easy. But I'm in Rwanda now, so we chilling. um yeah. So okay, that's great. Now we need to return the row key, and then we need to return the save.get created at. What are we saving? Hold on. Oh, the saved API key. After saving it, then we need to return the created at. We also need to return the row key that's returned once. Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna pass in the row key, and this is gonna be returned once, right? So returned once and never stored in DB. I think yeah, never stored is fine. And the last one is gonna be we need to get the saved key dot created get created at, and there you go. We're good now. What's your tech stack? Spring Boot, Spring Boot, Spring Boot, Next.js, Node.js, anything to do with like backend development. I'm there, my brother. You can check my GitHub out. This is like all the technologies I use day to day. My T-shaped ruler. Do you mean the drafter? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the name, but T-shaped ruler. for engineering diagrams. Engineering diagrams. I think it is this one. Yes, it's this one, bruh. This one. And I used to use this too. And you had like a compass, a little compass that you draw stuff with. Yes, this is the T-shape ruler, bro. This is the T. I'll get the picture and I'll send it to you guys on Discord. I'll send it to you guys on Discord. Speaking of Discord, go ahead and join the Discord. I don't know if I have the link, but let me just get the link. I normally forget about the link, but just gonna go here to Never and generate this link. Copy this link and yeah. Let me just paste it so that y'all can see it. Hold on. Let me just paste it for you guys to see. Gonna just paste this and pin this. All right, check out the Discord. Check out the Discord. You can always catch up with us on Discord. Is this even a ruler? It is a ruler, bro. It is a ruler. What the heck is this ruler for? It is for drawing, bro. Um, if you go to like goddamn, let's say I think YouTube makes it better. Let's say T-shaped ruler, ruler drawing. You will see it right now. Yes, this is how they use it. Like this is how you use it. Yes, you put it exactly. You got like a white paper that you use, and then you put your white paper just like that. And then exactly, and then you got tabs. Yes, I remember doing this exactly. And you have to do this every single time, bro. You gotta move with like tabs in your bag and shit. Bro, this stuff is hard as hell. And then you gotta be accurate because this keeps everything of yours like on a straight line. Because the T-shape ruler is very accurate and it is just easy to draw with. You move it like across your entire paper, just like that, just like what it's doing. That's what I used to do day to day, and the diagrams used to be very accurate, bro. This is what you used to like draw buildings, foundations, and the architecture and all of that. So yeah, thank God, bro. I'm doing computer science now. I literally left engineering alone. I said, yo, I'm done with all of that extra electrical engineering BS. And yeah, when computers exist now, I mean, the concept is the important part, not the ability to draw by hand. Yeah, man, bro, in life, man, I feel like this education is just meant to keep us poor, bro. Because, like, the more you learn, the dumber you get. um, oh, there's something called drafters. I don't know. I don't know about that. Drafters. What the hell is drafters? Drafters. Yeah. I had somebody saying that it's wait, what's drafters? Oh, I think it's a similar concept. Yeah, all of them are just like things to do with like engineering, architectural engineering and stuff like that. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great, bro. There's a saying that I think the more you climb, the colder it gets. And it's not just about like it getting cold. It's just more that like the more you know, the I mean the more you know, I think the more you would wish you didn't know, I guess. I don't know. University is a place to delay landing your first job. Not really, bro. University is a place for employers to know that hey, you can sit down and follow rules and goddamn wake up in the morning and come to class or maybe like respect your boss and do your job. I feel like that's the end point of like universities. Because bro, you can self-teach anything. You can teach yourself any concept right now. You don't need no lecturer coming when he's high. Somebody probably did sleep well or had home problems, and you just ask one question and dude is like giving you his entire history. Like universities are funny, bro. For real. Uh, Can you just talk about CS? It feels like very uncomfortable when discussing about mechanical engineering. Okay. I think that makes sense. I'm downloading Discord right now. I haven't used it in years. Oh, okay, okay, no problem, my brother. We got a new user. Thank God, we got a new user. Hey, we have a goal of like getting at least five users, five new users every single day. There's some days we don't meet the whatever, but it's fine. We keep going, it happens. Yeah, join the Discord. I'll be glad. Math PTSD is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish up this. We need to create a list. We take an API key list item DTO and get user API keys. We take in the string email and we check for the existence of the user, and then we just return the API repository.find by user ID. Then we pass in user or get user ID or get ID, and dot stream, we stream this down, and then we get dot mob, pass and get the key and new API key list item DTO, then just register these things, and then we stream them to list. All right, that should make sense. And then deleting keys, we're returning void, obviously, and we're not returning anything, but it's just void. Optional user, we need to validate the API keys, and that's all. I think our work for today is not really complex. That is all we gotta do, and then boom, we are done for the day. Thank God. So I think that is all. Let's just go ahead and finish up with this entire method. So now we need to work on this. All right. Um. Oh, my boy Anukur. Your name is hard, bro. Ankur, Anka. I don't know. I don't know. You guys gotta teach me how to like pronounce your names, boys. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish up. We have this. We have the entire create API key done. And I'm thinking, do we need this as a transactional? I don't think we need it as a transactional. And also, this is at we need to create another service now. This is going to be public. This is going to be a list, and we are returning the API key. Hold on, API key list item BTO, and we are going to say just I think get API keys by user ID. Okay, get user API keys. That's a good name. Get user API keys. And we're gonna grab the email. And from there, we first need to get the user object. User is equals to user repository dot find by email. We just pass in that email, or else we just throw if there's any error. And I think that's all. From there is just we return our API key list item. I think this is gonna be new since we're returning a new object. And then I think this is it, right? Am I missing something? We're returning a new list, so we shouldn't be like this. What are you guys saying in the comments? At some point, I wanted to become an engine design engineer. Lord, bro, don't say my name, please. I may change my name if I see you pronounce that weirdly again. Ankur. Anka. What are you building? You can explain the concept so we can also engage. Like, I don't have any context. That's the problem. For me, I just assume everyone knows what we're doing. So just give me a sec. So we are building a URL shortener. And for starters, I got flu, like terrible flu, and I'm ill. So just I apologize if I'm, sneezing and all of that. But we're building a URL shortener for my main SaaS application, which is a bid selling platform. So we are also going to sell this platform as a SaaS application. So now we are just hitting two birds with one stone, which is the bid selling platform is going to benefit from the URL shortener, and the URL shortener is going to be sold as a SaaS platform as well to other probably other users. Since the beat selling platform, I'm a music producer. That's the reason why you're hearing beats and all of that. So I'm a music producer. I make music. I make beats, and yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm just building two platforms at the same time. But one is already live. And if you want a little demonstration, a little demo, I can show you, or you can just check it out at this link here, databucket.store, https databucket.store, whatever. You can always access it. And yeah, you can catch up with us. So that is all. And if you just come to like the beat section here, you go to like share and just try to share this link, you'll notice that it will take us to like this beat, but we are trying to send this to artists or rappers, and 9 times out of 10 this URL is super long, and most people, artists in general, they look at this like, okay, this might be some scammy stuff. So since this is a UUID, they are not like technical, so they won't understand. And we're trying to make it as less technical and less jarring as possible by just reducing this entire URL to maybe something shorter, like maybe 6 to 8 characters, and that will redirect us to this page. That's just all. And from there we can just wrap it around other stuff to make it a SaaS platform. And today we are building the API key so that we can integrate this platform with another platform. So I think that makes sense. Selling beats, yeah, yeah. Good night, Rawin. What's going on, my brother? You gonna sleep? All right, no problem. I think, yeah, we're about to finish though. That's the most important part. Like I love it when you notice how we are always engaging, because it's more like they say all work without play makes Jack a dull boy, and all play without work makes hold on. What's the saying? All work without play makes Jack a dull boy, and all play without work makes Jack what? I don't know, but you get the point. So, okay, let's continue. So we have this. From there, okay, we're not returning on a new. What am I saying? What am I doing? We're gonna return the API key repository dot find user by user ID, and then we pass in. We get this user ID, and then we just stream this to list. Okay. If your purpose not learning and only business need, then I think you need to use some other service. Not really. My purpose is learning and at the same time using the platforms that I'm building to goddamn what's the name? Uh to also like land a engineering job, learn a software engineering job. I think, yeah, hotels don't really let you stay at one thing for too long. Hotels? What do you mean by that? What do you really mean by that? That's funny. That's a funny saying. API key repository dot find by user ID, and then we just pass in that user dot get ID, and we need to now stream this. Okay, so dot map. I think we need to first stream this, right? And then stream dot map, and this is where we're going to stream everything. Getting the key is now going to be our API key. Hostels, okay, hostels. All right. Hostels don't really let you stay at one thing for too long. I don't know. Yeah, for sure. I don't know that saying. Could you explain it to me? Could you explain it to me? Okay, we're streaming this. The key new API key list item DTO, and then we just pass in the names and this extra stuff. So yeah, stream new API key list item DTO, and then within this, I meant college hostels. Oh, okay. Something new is always happening. Oh, so you want to go and check out? Okay. No problem. I get it. I get it. Okay, so now what are we doing? We have the API key. We are mapping this. And finally, I think we're just going to say to list. And that is going to be that. Remaining everything that's going to be inside here now. All right, bro. Good night. All right, no problem, bro. Stay safe. We're gonna link up tomorrow. So I'm gonna say key the hey, by the way, tomorrow I have exams though. I need to also prepare for the exams. So I'm just gonna finish what we got going on today, and then yeah. Men's college hostels lock doors at night and don't let you in after time. Okay. Oh, you're in college hostel. I didn't know that. Key dot get ID. We need to get the ID, we need to get the name, the key prefix, and the last used, then they created that, and that's all. Oh, I think it's still the same as this one, right? Wait, not really this one, but the list item DTO here. So instead, I'm just gonna close this off and then open this side. Okay, so that's fine. I'm just gonna have key dot get ID first, and after the ID, key dot get name, and then this should be key dot what dot key prefix, get key prefix, and then key dot, I think, get last use that, and then hold on, then key dot get created at, and that's it. So we stream this down into a list, and we are done with the get user API keys. And then from there, we need to just create the delete endpoint. Are you from India? No, 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 no. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Somebody said I'm a first year, so I have to share the room. Oh, okay. I'm not Indian, bro. What are you talking about? Do I look Indian? Oh, maybe you're talking to your friend in the comments. Okay. I think that's better. That's better. So let's have a look. We have public void delete API key string. We need to pass in the email, UUID. This okay. So how we deleting the key, API key? We need to have the email and then the key ID. Instead of UUID, we are just going to use long and key ID. And then we need to look for the user first and the API key if it's not found. So both of them, we need to look for the two of them, get the user and get the API key. And if the API key dot user is not equal to the user ID, then we throw unauthorized exception. And this is like something that probably that's the reason why we have these two issues, right? I think if we come to GitHub, we probably have these issues inside our backend here. Yeah, we have these two issues that we opened that we are probably gonna close maybe at the end of the stream today. I'll close them after the stream. And there are some issues I need to fix. So I think those issues are also part of the problems that we are facing. So that is that. Let's continue learning. Now, here's the thing. If the API key user is not the same as the user that we have, oh, then we throw unauthorized. So this key does not belong to you. And then API first get the email, and also not the string, but this is gonna be long and it's gonna be just the key ID, or maybe yeah, we can use it as the key ID actually, or the API key ID, whatever. I think let's just call it key ID, but let's just be more meaningful and call it key ID, API key ID. That should make sense. And then from there, we need to just say user repository, the same all. Check, we say user repository dot find by email, and then we just pass in that email, or else throw resource not found, pass in that email. And we also need to check the API key as well is equals to the same thing, API key repository dot find. We could say find by ID dot find by ID. We actually need to create that though. So we're gonna say find by ID, and then we pass in that API key ID dot, or else we throw new resource not found, and instead of email, we're just gonna pass in the API key ID. And I think what's going on here, long string, it should be, hold on, what's going on here? First off, this shouldn't be okay. We need to, instead of this, we're just gonna say instead of resource not found, hold on, how are we using it here? Let's have a look. We are passing in the key ID. We need to create a new custom exception, or else wait, hold on, what am I using here? Resource not found, right? So what are we using here? Find by key ID. Okay, find by ID. Let's see, find by ID. Now let's have a look at our repository. um what's going on in the chat, bro? Yeah, man, like if you are a programmer, then wait, hold on. What's going on? Time when all of the guys get more active in the whole day. Like if you're a programmer. I joined the server just now. Okay. Thank you, my brother. Yo, what's up? Welcome. You see that have they welcomed you? Yes, automatically. That's nice. Auto welcome. I think we're grinding though. We got some cool members to join it. So that is nice. I'm gonna have to like focus and just finish this. I'd love to connect with anyone. My Twitter, just in case anyone wants to connect. My Twitter is super trash, bro. My Twitter is just super, super trash. I don't even use X like that, but yeah, I don't usually just like tell people to check out Twitter because I don't know, it just don't feel right with me. It's super trash. I don't even get views on there. I started posting scenes, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is, though. You feel me? We got two little followers. You can check me out. I feel like Twitter is pay to win, though. That's how it's now coming to. You have to pay money to get some views, and I don't know, it's not sustainable though. But if you're building developer facing applications like what I'm building now, it's easy to like get some traction on Twitter because most developers are always on Twitter. So I think that's an idea I would like to also, check out. Okay, let's look at the API key repository. We got find, wait, what is this? Find user by ID. Okay, we also need another find by instead of optional, I'm just gonna go ahead and say what's the name? Let's have a look. So let's have a look at the auth. We got user repository and we got this optional. So copy. Hold on, let me sneeze for a sec. Oh my god, this flu, bro. This flu is stressing me. All right, let's go. I'm gonna click here and I'll just change this to API key, and we would say find by ID. Find by ID. And then instead of this string, we're just gonna say long. This is going to be goddamn API key ID. And yeah, what's going on here? We got not annotated as not null. Huh? What's going on? Find by ID. Wait, hold on. What's going on? Why are we having some issues? Why are we having some issues? Wait, hold on. I'm having some issues. Okay, instead of UUID, we're not really using UUID here, so find by ID, passing that ID, or else throw passing this, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this, right? I'm gonna let this stuff create API key for us, the repository. So I'm gonna use that. And what's going on here? We have the find by key hash. We have the find by key hash, which is funny. Okay, API key repository dot find by, and then we'll pass in that. Instead of UUID, we are using long, which is nice. So I think we are going correct. API key is equals to API key repository dot find by ID, passing that API key, or else throw new resource. And yeah, the new resource could be the API key ID. Or what's going on? Change resource not found from string to long. So we need to create a custom yeah, we need to create a custom stuff. That's why. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say instead of passing that, I'll just say API key is missing. So yeah, I think this is like the correct way to go about it. And that is that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is that we need to check if the user is equals to the owner. I mean, if that user is the actual user of the API key, is the actual owner of the API key. So we check if the API key dot get user dot get ID is not equal to the user dot get ID. Then we're just gonna return. Wait, hold on. What are we gonna return from here? We can return unauthorized, I think. what are we returning? Oh, we need to throw, not return. Throw new unauthorized exception. This key does not belong to you. So we are just gonna go ahead and throw um new resource not found, but unauthorized. And we're just gonna say this API key does not belong to you. Does not belong. Hold on. Belong to the user. Okay, to you. Let's just be very aggressive. All right, now from there, what else are we gonna do after that? After that, we just delete the API key, isn't it? And then we go and create the optional, and that's all. So this is to validate the API key, by the way. We need to validate the API key. We check the row, password encoded on matches, the row key dot key dot get key hash, and then find fast map key, and then we get the key dot set the last used at to local datetime dot now, or maybe we can use instant, and then API key repository dot save, and then we pass in that key. Then we just return the key dot get user. I think that is very, very like straightforward. So I'm just gonna say API key repository dot delete, and we just delete the API key. Before now, API key sounded like a magical term. It feels simpler now. Yeah, for real. I'm just like now, just like bro, look at the thing, right? Somebody might look at this and say, oh, you probably just copying the code. It is not that. It is learning. If you go to YouTube, most people, the first default thing is to buy a course. That is like the wrong way to approach a subject. Because if you just go and buy a course, well and good, you learn. That's true. But at the same time, you've wasted 12 hours, right? I mean, 20 hours because most courses are long. 20 hours just seated to just learn nothing, because at the end of the day, if you because the courses go concept, 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 not concept, get stuck, fix it, go to the next. It's just concept, 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 and that's not the best way to learn. You feel me? So I feel like this is like the best way to learn. Right now, we already know what we are targeting, we know what we are doing next, and we know what we've already done, and where we've had some challenges. And yeah, I think it's like line by line we understand everything. So boom, there you go. That's so true, man. Courses waste so much time and it's never personalized. You can go at your pace and ask specific questions. For real. Look at how many times we've like Googled, we've asked goddamn Claude to explain to us. We haven't in this stream, but in most streams we usually do that. And at the same time, we are learning concepts. Like I didn't even, okay, I knew how streams usually work, but 9 times out of 10, I used not to like understand the meaning behind streams. But right now I know why we are doing the streams, right? We are trying to convert everything into like the array list, since I mean we are using a list here, and we are converting this entire we are using this DTO. Oh my god, what am I talking about? We're using the DTO to get users by their API keys, which is like very, very straightforward, right? So this is nice. I feel like this is the best way to learn. I don't know, people are different, but me, I learn this way. Can't relate more, just like chatting with my friend uh as we have wasted our money on the course. For real, bro. Like I've wasted so much, and I feel guilty about it every time I think about it. It's like, why, bro? And yeah, it's just like for better hold on, for lack of better words to put it, right? It's just like ignorance. I sometimes ask Gemini or Claude in anti-gravity to review my code and tell me what weaknesses I have in it. It is such a good way to learn, for real. And another thing is, I don't know if this is true though, but I feel like Claude is way more accurate than any other like LLM I've tried. I can use ChatGPT now, just 20 lines in, it's already hallucinating. I'm already having like errors after errors and problems after problems. But with Claude, if I literally just ask Claude, I get the answer straightforward, and it's always like 9 times out of 10 very correct. So Claude is much better. Yeah, yeah, for real, for real. Even like coding wise, Claude is just insanely good. Insanely good, dog. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Here we're getting optional type. That means we need, it might exist, it might not. We have user validate the API key, passing we get the stream, I mean, this is the raw key, return API key repository dot find all, and then stream them and filter and find first and map. Like, look at all these concepts. I feel like if you're not building projects, you're not really gonna get these concepts in place. But now I learn and I'm learning, so crazy. Okay, now we need to build this public optional user. We validate the API key. We have the string. We need to pass in the row key as the parameter, and then return the API key repository of find all. And we need to stream this, filter this. Matter of fact, this is a little bit confusing. This line is a little bit confusing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go to like ChatGPT, say explain what this code is doing and why find all. Right? Let's just use that. Um, Obviously, Claude is most accurate and most expensive. For real, it is expensive. I'm not gonna lie. But for what you get, for what your money gets you, it's like it's worth it. For real, it's worth it 10 times, bro. Said it has been some mistakes. Hold on. It has seen some mistakes others haven't seen. Obviously, Claude. Okay, that's okay. Somebody said consider anti-gravity. It gives you a good number of requests for Gemini. Yeah, yeah, for real. I use anti-gravity though. Like that's something I'm really, really very, very like glad to recommend. I use anti-gravity in and out. Like all this front end code, I literally just use anti-gravity. I don't waste my time writing front end code myself for real. It's just like wasting time. Maybe when I was learning to code, but now I don't really waste my time doing that. And I hate front end, by the way. I hate front end development. It's just super boring, bro. This method is validating an API key by comparing a raw incoming key against hash API key stored in the database. Correct. So is validating the API key by comparing a raw incoming key against hashed API keys stored in the database. Almost like look like for the password, right? Checking if the password is exactly or matches this. Oh yeah. So that we didn't do the matching or whatever inside registering a user. I think that's why we have issues. Okay, now here's the thing. Load all API keys from the database. That's the first thing. Load all the API keys in the database. This fetches every API key record from the database and converts the list into the stream, allows functional operations like filtering. That's fine. Oh, so we stream them so that we can filter them. Okay. Convert list into a stream. Okay. And then we can now be able to filter. So filter key by the password encoded which matches the key that we have. Okay, that makes sense. This line is the important part. Raw key is equals to this. Each stored API key is hash using something like bcrypt. Yes, that's true. You cannot do raw dot equals hash. So because bcrypt hashes are one way, so password encoded on matches the raw key and then the stored hash rehashes internally and verifies whether they match. So the code checks every stored key until one matches. Take the first matching key. So find first. Okay, that's the reason why we're using find first. Now, oh my god, this is just straightforward, bro. Java is beautiful, bro. Optional API key. So because there may or may not be a match, and yeah, that's the reason why we're using optional. Oh my god, this is straightforward. Then update usage timestamp. We're gonna have API key dot set last use that local date time dot now, and then API key repository dot save the key. If a matching key exists, update the last used add and then save the changes. Useful for analytics, audits, log, and revocation monitoring if we want to revoke user. Return key dot get user, and then final return type is the optional. So I think that is that. I have a bad habit of letting functions return null. You're the most relatable person I've seen, lol. I hate front end so much. Bro. Bro, one thing about front end, right? It's just that the sheer amount of code you have to write for like something small, dog. Like, oh my goodness. I gotta change a button. I have to like, oh my god, class dot get this. Oh my god, get my ID and dot ID and this add gradient this red this like no. No, no, I'm not doing that, bro. I need real logic. My brain works with logic. I feel like I'm a logical person, so I want things to make sense. Like my brain just wants to push things to make sense. I think you get the point, right? So let's use optional, and we are gonna use a user, right? Hold on. Are we using a user? I'm using user as the type, optional user. And then hold on, are we using the user or the API key? I think yes, the user, since we are validating the API key against whatever the users have in their database. I think that should make sense. Now we validate the API key, we pass in the string row key as our parameter, and then we return API key repository dot find all. So check everything. Okay, that should validate API key, and we're just gonna take only one thing, which means we need to get the string and row key. All right. Now inside the row key, we just say return API key repository dot find all. Yep. Now we know why we are finding all, right? Find all dot stream this, and then after streaming, we need to I think we need to filter, right? We need to filter, and we need to filter by key and key dot hold on. Are we what's going on here? We need to filter by key and what? We actually need to say password encoder dot matches. Yes, if it matches the row key that we have and our key dot get key hash. Yes, and then from there we are now going to just map. And actually we're going to find first. So find first, that means if find the one that matches first. And then from there we can just map, and yeah, from there yeah, we just get the user, right? I think that should make sense. Key, and then we just set key dot last used. I literally exhausted anti-gravity tray casa from morning as I got Kotlin work and I don't have any idea of it. Just create the logic and let them write the syntax. Oh my god. Some people are evil, bruh. Listen, if you're looking for someone to hire, don't hire an Anchor or Ankur or Anukur. This guy's a demon, bro. How do you exhaust casa anti-gravity? Goddamn. Um, what's the name of the other IDE? Trey and maybe Kling. I think there's Kling AI or Kling something, and maybe DeepSeek and maybe Grok. Guy, you're a demon, bro. I swear to God, he's so scary. I love this comment. I love this comment. It's funny, man. I key we did as a key dot set last used now local data now API key repository save the key and then return the key dot get user. And I think that's all. That's literally all we have to do. Wow. Who would have thought this is just as easy as this, right? We could use this. What's the name of this method? Um I think this is like what Java. This is like Java what? I'm forgetting the name, bro. I'm forgetting the name, but it's like there's a name for this. Nah, bro. It's not cast, but like, bro, yours is too much, right? Like your level of productivity has gone beyond the word productive. So, set last, hold on, last use that. We need to save it to local date time dot now. Or we could just use instant, but it's fine. Let's just use local date time dot now, and then again we say key dot set. I think we need to set user. How are we setting any user? No. After that, after the last time it was used, we just save it now to the database, and then we just return the user instead of setting the user again. Okay, that should make sense. API key repository dot save, and then we just pass in the key. So save the key, and then we just return key dot get user, and there you go. I think that's the entire thing. for validating the goddamn API key. So it's too illegal and unsafe to my liking. Hello. Just a client. Okay, why? Cause JavaScript. Oh my god, JavaScript. Just hearing JavaScript is like you're giving me headache, bro. Yeah, bro. You're giving me headache when I hear JavaScript. Okay, let's see. Filter it checks for the API key alongside JWT. Okay. Hold on. Yes, we need to check for the API keys in the request header. And that's something we need to look at. So we have a string API key request or get header X API key. So we need to get this on the request header. That is true. And then if the API key is not equal to null and the security context holder dot get context dot get authentication is null, then we can go ahead and go down API key dot service dot whatever whatever that we had. So I think that is all. And then we're going to have API key service dot validate API key if present user username whatever auth. And yeah, I think that is all. But let's have a look at our JWT filter because it's probably having other stuff that is not related to what we have up there. So okay, I think it's within security context, not really here, but JWT. Let's go to auth service and not this, but the filter. All right, so the filter we have something here that is like with token, right? So I think we need to how are we going to integrate this? So I think this is a little bit different. We're just going to copy this code and say our JWT token has some uh changes that we need to apply. So here is my version, my current filter. So shall how shall we put it in? All right, let's see. JavaScript was made overnight? No, no. I gotta look at that. JavaScript was just made overnight. Is that true? See, those TikTok facts are not true. JavaScript wasn't made overnight. Prototyped its initial version in just 10 days. Oh yeah, 10 days. While at Netscape, but evolved significantly afterwards. So yeah, it took him 10 days. That's still significantly crazy. If you can just build a whole language in 10 days, like how cracked can you be, bruh? Like how cracked do you wanna be? You're very low. Oh my goodness. Bro got busted life. No. The case is that is that to goddamn, it's not a myth to bust or whatever, but it's just like, we gotta get our facts right. But at the same time, it's like 10 days is insanely low, like for a whole programming language that millions, billions of users and goddamn everybody depends on, because you can't tell me there's no JavaScript around you. Like one way or the other, you use JavaScript every single day. It's crazy, bro. It's insanely crazy. So, um, let's have a look at what's going on. Yeah, we are rate limited, which is nice. I ain't paying $200 for it. Come on, man, come on, bro. Your JWT filter is clean. The API key filter slots and right alongside it. Same pattern, different header. Here's exactly how it fits. So how is it gonna fit in our API key stuff? We need to just create this. What's going on within. Oh, we need a whole different API key auth filter, which extends once per request filter. That's nice. So it means, oh, this is actually different though. Notice that the structure mirrors your JWT filter exactly. Same ordinal null annotations. Okay, we need to actually create this as a different filter. I thought we needed to add it within the JWT filter. So yeah, if it's like a whole different thing, then it's cool. Not different, but similar. But the context is different. So we need to just create this new class called filter, and we just add the add configuration because obviously, yep. And I think it's the same, right? Configuration and required argument constructor. Yep. And from there, we can just go ahead and say private. All of this, we need to get the API service, API, what? API key service. So private final API key service as API key service. And this one extends once per request filter. And then we have some methods that we need to implement, which is the do filter method. These ones are not null, so let's just add these annotations. Let's go ahead and just add the annotations as well. All right, and then I think it's gonna be like this, something similar to this. Throws an exception, it's fine. Somebody said, what language do you use? Okay. What's going on here? Hey, bro, I'm from India. Hello, brother. Hold on, bro. I think it's like 1 a.m. in India. No. India is 3 hours and 30 minutes ahead. So if it's currently 8:30 my place, it means in India it's about 11. No, hold on. 8. It's about 11. It could be 11. No, not 11. It's about 1 a.m. exactly, or maybe 12. I think it's 12. I think it's 12 currently in India. I don't know if my math is mathing, but it's about 12. I don't know. Something like that. God damn, you a night owl or something? Nice. I got some friends using Java. Maybe I remember I'll learn it in the future. it's, it's not a future thing, bro. You have to learn it. Okay, let's create an API key. So we're gonna say string API keys because request.get header. Okay, remember the JWT filter auth. I mean the JWT auth filter uses the authorization and bearer token. But for this one, we are using the X API key, which stands for the header, right? The API key in the header. So let's just go ahead and create that. String API key is equals to how we're gonna get the API key. We need to get the request dot header, get header, and then we have X. I think it's the same as what AI is recommending for us, but let's just say API key like this. If I'm not mistaken, yes, X API key, and then we check if the API key is equals to null or the security context holder dot get authentication is not equal to null. Yes. Okay, if it's not equal to null, that means there's a logged in user, right? Filter chain dot do filter, you filter the request and just return from there. I think that is all. So we're gonna have an if statement that is gonna check if, hold on, are we starting with not? Okay, that means we're gonna say if API key is equals to null or the API, not the actual API key, but we need to say the security context holder dot get context dot get authentication is equals to null as well. Then we'll do something which is a filter chain dot do filter, filter the request and the response, and then from there just return. That just continue alongside, continue down the filter chain. All right, and the next thing is going to be the API key service dot validate the key. Now we just pass in the API key. We need to validate that API key. Oh my God, this is similar. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys are keen enough, but let's have a look at this. We have a similar thing. We are getting the auth header, we're getting the authorization, and we're checking if the authorization, if the auth header is equals to null, and the auth header doesn't start with bearer, that means continue down the chain. And then we need to validate the token. So the same thing we are doing here is, yeah, it's actually the same. Nice. Hold on. To be honest, learning C++, Java, Python is a must these days. Yeah, maybe I disagree with Python. Saying a must for Python is like it's a stretch. It's a big stretch. Cause like what's the real use case of Python if it's not ML? Really? Cause who's building like backends with Python? That's somebody's looking for headache, right? It's like at least C++ plus plus and Java, or maybe C sharp as well, and maybe TypeScript or Node.js. I mean, Express maybe with TypeScript or Bun. But other than that, I don't know, bro. What am I building? I'm building a URL shortener, a URL shortener application. Boys in the chat, try to help me explain to like new people that come in the chat that don't know or have no idea what we're doing. And yeah, at least you make it easy for me. Django is used more than you think, lol. A whole backend framework in Python. I know Django. I know Django on Flask. I've used Django for some time. And I really think it is like a headache building backends with it. One thing, as long as the language is not strongly typed, it is bad for backend. Although it works, it's almost like JavaScript, right? JavaScript, Node.js works, but there's a reason why um like people are moving away from just pure Node.js, Node.js and Express and using something like Bun, or maybe TypeScript, yeah, or maybe Nest.js. You feel me? So anything that's not strongly typed, bro, it's like you're just setting yourself up for failure. Long term as your code base grows. I think that's like a better way to put it. But obviously you can still build backends, but it's not really sustainable long term. For sure, for sure. Let's look at the API key service and get the username password authentication as auth is equals to new username password authentication, passing the user null. This is credentials. We don't need credentials. So user will get authorities, that is the roles, and all those details, new web authentication, whatever, build the details, and then passing the request context holder, passing that auth, and then filter chain, go down the filter chain. I think that is all. And we are almost done. We are really almost done. So, what are you guys saying in the comments? Nothing? Okay. All right, so now let's say the API key service dot validate API key, passing that API key, and we have dot if it is present. If it is present, and do something, passing that key. Um, there's something we need to do from here, right? Or we need to actually get the authentication token, right? So username, password, authentication, username, password, authentication token as auth is equals to new username, password, authentication token, and then we just pass in the user. Oh, what are we passing in there? I'm getting confused. Yeah, we're passing just the user, the null, and then yeah. And where is our user? Hold on, am I getting confused? We are actually not using key, bro. What the hell am I saying? We're using user and then just passing that user and passing null and just passing user dot get authorities. And yeah, that's the filter chain for you. Then we just continue from there. We get the security context holder dot get context and then set authentication to the auth. And yeah, we just continue down the filter chain. So the next thing is to say auth details, auth dot set details to new. We're just gonna say auth dot not get details, but set details to new web. Hold on, web authentication details source dot build details, and then we just pass in that request, and from there we just continue down the filter chain, right? If there's nothing, but hold on. Why are we setting the context holder before setting the details? I think that is going to result in this thing failing because they have to be what? How do they call that? How do they call that word? I'm forgetting the word. Uh, chronological order. I think they should follow each other step by step. Yeah, and then we just continue. We're just gonna say filter chain dot do filter, and then just filter the request. Filter request and the response. And yeah, I think that's all. Filter chain should just be out of this. What am I doing? After all of this going through, just filter everything. And yeah, I think we are done now. Yeah, chronological order. Okay, we have Verum. Hey boys, listen. consider joining the Discord. If you're new here, we are building a URL shortener. We have a whole other application that is like for music producers to list their beats or sell their beats. It is actually a whole SaaS application. You can always check it out. I don't know if you are interested, but it's just for music producers. And we have a Discord server, with brothers, friends, and just people that want to chill. You can always join us. The link is up there. So I think that is all, and we're building the URL shortener to help us with this main application that we have here in here. So that's basically all about what I'm doing. So yeah, the rest you can get it from the brothers from the chat. I don't know if that's a correct way to say it, but yeah. Okay, we have this, we filtered the chain, and now we have noticed the structure mirrors your JWT, which is correct. And finally, we just add this within the security config. We have to add the API key auth filter, API key auth filter, and just do the same thing here, right? We're gonna add this before the JWT auth filter and just use the same thing here. What's going on here? Wait. See, AI confused this entire thing. That's crazy, right? Okay, let's go to our security config. And is there anything we need to, no, there's nothing we need to skip. So we need to add just from here. Matter of fact, let's just go say private. Hold on. Private final. I think is what? API key or is it? Did I just call this auth filter? Should it be auth filter? I think it should be authorization fault filter, yeah. And then we just add this dot add before. Hold on, what's going on? Okay, from here. Dot add before, and then we just pass the API key auth filter, and then we're just gonna have the username password filter just and yeah, I think that's that. How do you plan to monetize the shortener? All right, you see we are building the API key today. That's what we're doing. So it's just gonna be like a SaaS platform. Other platforms can integrate our platform. It's almost like Bitly, Bitly and Guardian. What else? What's even out there again? I know Bitly, and I think a few. I just forgot, but yeah, it's just gonna be a SaaS platform, just like the ones that is out there, just like that. All right, I think that's all. The order is intentional. The request arrives, auth filter runs, and yeah, I think that is that. We really don't have much to go over. After this, now we just have to, I think we are done with this. And we also done with this as well. Order matters API key, filters runs first, and then JWT filter second. Okay, hold on. I think that makes sense, right? Wait. API key filters first, then JWT second. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this. Um, order matters. I don't know why order matters, but yeah, let's just keep the order. API key rounds first, then JWT second. Fine. And finally, we have the API key controller. Really, I'm not going to create this from scratch. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to copy this entire block of code and just copy it as our controller. Within the controllers, I'm just going to create a new API key. I'm just going to call this API key and then dot API key controller. I think that's the name. API key controller. All right, I don't really have time to like do this from scratch, so I'm just gonna copy this down and just grab this entire thing. And yeah, we just import the things that are missing, like for example, the request mapping and this, and then yeah. So this is like this is what the users will be calling. Like for example, our application will be calling these endpoints using our API key that we implemented. So I think that is that. Response DTO, also this, and list util, and lastly, not UUID. I think everywhere where there's UUID, we change it to long, and that should do it, right? I think we are only getting the delete as the ID. We could say maybe key ID, but let's just keep it as ID. All right. Cool. Looking forward to the project. Here's my URL. Should not read my previous messages. Explains it. Yeah. Okay. Looking forward. What did you say? Looking forward to the project base. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. I think we are done actually. We are done. So testing in Postman, we need to post API keys and then authorization. We need to pass in the JWT token. And then yeah, the name is like Daddy Bucket production. And then we are going to return this and then save this shown once only, okay? And then we use the API key to shorten and link. No JWT needed. Okay, so soon as we have this, we don't need the JWT anymore. And then we go to shorten, and within our header, we pass in this X API key, then we pass in our API key, and boom, we pass in also like the original URL in the body. Then yeah, we get redirected. So I think that is all. One performance not on the validated key. Right now, it loads all API keys, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And bcrypt checks one. That's fine for low volume, but one scale. The fix is to store a fast lookup index using the key prefix. When the key comes in, filter by prefix, fast to narrow candidates before bcrypt comparison. So it will be something like prefix. Since we are using substring, we grab the first index up to the 12th index. I think it's the 11th index starting from 0, but it's fine. Let's use it 12 and return API key dot find by key prefix, and we pass in the prefix. Filter key with the password encoder matches this, and then we just, yeah, instead of saying find first. I think that is fine, but yeah, for now it's good though. I think we are now good to go, my boys. I think we are good to go now, for sure, for sure. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna test out the API keys, and God, I think this is gonna be done for today, right? So let's go ahead and say, okay, here authentication principle. We already know how this works. This is not like a problem. We did it yesterday. That's the reason I just copied this. And yeah, no content when we are deleting stuff. Obviously, never return anything. So we're just saying no content and just build. Anything, anything else? Nothing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stop this server. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete. Oh, where is the terminal? Did I just okay? The terminal is. I'm just gonna go ahead and say git status. Let me first see everything that we did some crazy changes in here, which is nice. So from here, we are gonna go ahead and test out the application. But first, I need to say docker compose down, remove everything, so that we can test the entire application end to end. And finally, that is it. Like we've literally finished everything that we needed to do today. I don't know what the hell is going on. Rerun your application with debug enabled. Dependency on some of the bins, context, whatever. Okay, what's really going on? Let's run this in debug mode. Let's catch where the error is at. Hmm. Okay, where's the error? Uh, Relying upon circular references is discouraged and they are prohibited by default. Update your application to remove the dependency cycle between bins. Wait, where's the dependency cycle? Can you guys see it? For some reason, I can't spot it. I'm just gonna copy this. I do not have time to read this. Swell, my mom. I'm just gonna go here and say, oh, why do we have this? Why do we have this? Okay, let's see it. Oh, let me sneeze real quick, bro. Most of the giant command is not your app. It is IntelliJ constructing a JVM. The important part is actually the failure at the bottom, the dependency of some of the beans. So you created a circular dependency between the API key auth filter, API key service, security. Spring cannot build objects because each one depends on the next. Best of luck in your journey, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, brother. Thanks a lot. I'm actually done with like today's work. The rest of the stuff is to just test if everything works. And yeah, thank you so much, bro. It means a lot to me. I see, but your password encoder bin is probably defined inside. Yeah, okay. You probably have something structurally like this. So actually, let me pass in the security context. The security context, so it is very straightforward for the AI to understand. Okay, this is how our stuff looks like. Let's paste it here. Let's see. Your circular dependency will come from this inside this because security config itself depends on this. And yeah, there's circular dependency. So Spring tries to create security context before it is fully initialized. Move the encoder bin into config and then just run this password encoder. I think that is better. So I'm just gonna go here and remove this entirely. It's gonna break a lot of things, that's true, but within the config, I'm just gonna call this password encoder config, password encoder config, and this is a configuration, and I don't think we need required argument constructor. I'm just gonna leave it at that, and from here we're gonna create a bin, and that bin is just going to be password encoder bin public password encoder, then we just return bcrypt, and I think that should now work properly, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just go ahead and test it out one more time. It should really work this time. Okay, it has worked as expected. So what's the next thing? I think it has worked. The next thing is to just test out this entire changes that we created. We have unused imports. Hold on. Okay, this encoder and this. So that is fine. So now we're just gonna go ahead and test out this entire application. I'm just gonna save this. Hold on. Go to the login, save this. I think we are just gonna come here and say testing the API key. So I will probably just create a new folder, and this is just gonna be the API key. All right, this is the API key. So testing the API key, we first need a logged in user. Let's just register this user. And we are grabbing this entire, copy this, and then go back to the login. And within the authorization, bearer token, go ahead and just paste in this token. Then go back to the body, make sure everything matches. We send this request. Now we've logged in, so we have a logged in user. We're gonna go to the health. I think health works though, because testing this is just pointless. But it's always good to have a health check. So now redirect won't work. We need to try a new application instead of API key. Yeah, okay. Within the API key, we could maybe add a new folder and call this data bucket. This is like a new application that is using our API key. So let's try to make a request. And where's the endpoint gonna go? We have this test case somewhere here. Where is the test case? I think I saw the test case somewhere here. All right, this is the test case. So to test, we need to create a key. What is this? Yes, to create an API key. Um, hold on though. Hold on. They're saying using the key to shorten a link. So we don't actually need to create that. Hmm. We actually don't need to create this. We're just going to call the bearer token. We're just going to use a JWT token. And oh, but we need a logged in user, isn't it? We need a logged in user and we need the JWT token. That's the reason why we logged in first. Okay, that makes sense. So we are going to go to API slash v1 slash keys and create a new post endpoint. So from data bucket, let's create a new request. This is actually going to be called create key, Is that it? Is that create key? Yep, we need a create key first. So creating the key, we need to go here and change this to like post endpoint. And this will be the same as everything else out there. But this time it will be slash keys. So this endpoint, we need to go back to the security config as well and stop this and allow just requests coming from API, API, I mean, it should be slash API slash v1 slash keys should be accepted. And let's run it again. Okay, so we go back here and say API slash keys. And within the authorization, we need to say bearer token. I think JWT bearer. We have bearer token. JWT bearer. No, we actually need to just use bearer token. And by default, I think this is the actual bearer JWT token. Starts with E, right? So let me just replace this. Yep, it's the same. So I'm just gonna close this off. All right, so now we have that in the authorization. And what's going on here? We have, okay, in the body, we need to pass in data bucket production, something like that. We could just say name, I think, row, JSON, and we just say name. Did we call it name? Yeah, it was just name. So this will just be goddamn dirty bucket production, something like that. And I think this is good. So let's just send this and see what's going to happen. Oh, we are returning an empty string. Interesting. Instead of get request, we're not doing get request, post request to this endpoint, and then let's run it one more time. So as you can see, we have ID 1 and we have data bucket production, we have the key prefix, and we have the row key, which is here. Okay, now we have the row key, and we have the created that timestamp, which is nice. So what's the last thing we need to test? Now use the key to shorten a link, no JWT needed. So post endpoint API key v shorten, we need to go to like X API key, we paste our API key. Where are we passing our API key? In the request header. Okay, makes sense. And then we pass in the original URL, then we get we shorten it. All right, now we are just gonna say instead of create link, I'm just gonna say API key. I'll just say API key. All right, this is gonna be the API key create link. So here I'm just gonna create a new post request to slash API, not that, but we can use the same endpoint as the create link endpoint. So this is slash v1 slash link slash shorten. Okay, API keys, you could say slash links slash v1 slash shorten. Okay, now in the body, instead of this, we're gonna first here we need to go ahead and maybe just pass in API key. And what is the key? What is the key name though? Do we have it? Do we have it? Let's go to the what API key, create key. All right, the name is data bucket production. Let me copy this and go back to the API key. Instead of new request, we're just gonna call this create link API key, something like that. Save and override. I think save and override will make sense. Okay, I'm gonna go to the body. We have the name already there though, so it's nice. Yeah, we have the name already there. So here, the value, wait, key value, maybe the key is the name. Yeah, maybe the key is the name, and then the value is our, yeah, the value is here. So let me just go ahead and grab. Wait, is this not like the prefix? Is it not this? I don't know. Is this not the key? Hmm. I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and just test it like that. Let's pass in value as that, and then um we need to pass in the original URL, right? Because we're trying to shorten the link. So we pass in the original URL here. Let's say original URL. And we need to shorten one of these URLs. Let's go to bits, share. So we go back here and just paste in this paste, and let's change this to like JSON, and boom, let's try to send. Header name must be valid HTTP token data bucket. I don't know why that didn't work. Authorization. Wait, I think if we go back to create key, this is probably like the prefix, right? So let's just use the prefix. Let's try the prefix here. Okay, and let's try to send request. Forbidden. What? Okay, we're getting forbidden. I don't know why. Authorization header will be automatically generated when you send request. So the key is the key, not the name though. Oh my god, I'm getting a little bit confused. Original URL, authorization, we pass in the API key. How we testing it? Use the key to share the link, not JWT needed. So post API key this. Why are we getting forbidden? Let's send one more time. Forbidden. I don't know. Yeah, bro, I'm having some hard time right now. How about this? Have the API key, right? So, what's the key value pairs? Let me just look this up. Let's say I have this. Um, hold on. So, so I have this. No, let me remove this. Uh, instead of asking this, let me just ask ChatGPT. I have this, but Postman is asking for key value pairs for the API key section. Let's see. For adding header or okay, your actual API key is this. So the key value transform means key is the header name. So we need, oh, it should be like this. Okay, the header name should just always be this style. Okay. Alright. I was just getting confused. Authorization. No, not that. Here creating this. It should be x API key. Okay. Something like this, and then let's send this. We're still getting forbidden. Oh my goodness. Oh, X API key, and then pass the value as this, and select add to header. That is okay. I actually have that. I don't know why. Yo, what's going on? Not query parameters. Is this not the way I did it? Let me stop here. Have a look at the filter. Oh, we're using X API key. This is correct, right? Copy this. Paste this. Should it be like this? I think it's like a string, right? Send this. Oh, hold on. API key. Authorization. How about headers? API key, we have that. And then the body, we have this. Okay, now let's go and grab our API key. Create API key. Let's grab. Oh, I think the key prefix is here. So is this like the entire API key? I don't know. This is created once. So let's go here and test this out. Remove this, press this, and this like the API key. Let's send. Why are we getting forbidden though? I'm getting forbidden. I don't know. It's gonna say I have this, but I'm still getting forbidden. I'm getting forbidden. Bro, you're streaming and showing API keys? Went to eat and back. What did I miss? You didn't miss a lot. You didn't miss a lot. I'm almost done. The API keys, I'm the one who created the API keys, so don't worry. It is my own API key. Dipansa, you missed the fact that we have created our API keys already. Now we're just testing them. Like, have you ever wondered how to create your own API key? Hmm? Now this is what we're doing. So let's see, your request reached strings security authentication likely failed, was ignored, endpoint requires authenticated user, Spring denied access. So the filter is most likely you're creating authentication like this, but your user entity probably does this. Or authentication is not being persisted in the security context. What could be the issue? Uh, mm, let's go back to Spring. Like it is a reference to the API key. Wait, we can? Yeah, you can create. You can. I'm literally creating an API key so that my platform can I can integrate it with other platforms like a SaaS application. You ever wondered when you like use ChatGPT, you have to provide API key for it? So they created the API key. So now we are creating our own API key for other users to use our platform. I think you miss a lot. That's the reason. You really needed to lock in with us on the start. Um, yeah, and these are like ideas that most people don't think about. I swear to God, a lot of people just okay, they are cool with just using API keys, don't really like wonder what's going on underneath. And now we've learned a lot. So we have the API key auth filter, and this is our service. I think our service is like perfectly fine. Let's just press this and see. We have the security context filter, which combines the two of them, which is fine. And then this is like the controller. So I'm just gonna paste every entire code that we have and just have AI analyze our code and see. So this is what I have. That's cool. Oh yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, can you believe we created our own API key? Like, that's a big flex, bro. Your bug is here. We have if API key is equals to null, the condition is backward. If API key is missing, authentication is null. So it skipped authentication entirely. So that was a bug. The correct fix is if API key is equals to null or the security context filter context holder dot get context dot authentication equals to null. We need to replace it with this. This is oh, it's not equal to null. Oh my god, this is like the biggest fumble. It's like a big fumble. I didn't see that. Okay, this is not equal to null. Oh shit, my brain. Oh god. Oh lord. Okay, I think this will work now. Let's send this. Um, we should restart our application again. Should probably restart our application again. All right, I'm gonna restart our application and I'm gonna say Docker compose down V and show you guys how we are creating the API key. Bro, I was building my blog. I need a good AI to use. I have Pro subscription, ChatGPT and Gemini, but they are not very good. Claude is expensive to buy. Lot of recommendations. Oh my god, what's happening? Hey, the recommendation that I would say I would give you would be maybe go with Claude and spend your money, bro. Spend your money. Spend your money, bro. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Cloud is the best. Spend the $200. Yeah, to be honest, um, I don't know. Gemini is better than ChatGPT. I don't care who says what. Gemini, I feel like Gemini is like way ahead of ChatGPT, or maybe ChatGPT is way ahead of Gemini. I don't know, bro. Like both of them are just far worse than Claude. So I don't know which one to recommend. It's like I don't know, bro. I'm broke. I don't know what to tell you. For real. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Yeah. Uh Claude is really good at coding, but it's expensive for real, man. These people are like so selfish. Like they just can't help students. Come on. This is the biggest fumble I've seen. Like, oh my goodness. So let's just start from the creation of the user. I'm gonna go ahead and create a user. What's going on here, bro? Hold on. Oh, our database is our application is down. Okay, let's run it. Two requests for free. Excuse me, bro. I got caught up laughing. Hey, bro. If you get it, if you can barely get two requests for free, god damn. That means you've used the free resources until they're no longer free. You're funny as hell, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this. Let's go here and just register. Yes, we have a new user. Just gonna copy this entire um, JWT token. And I think it's already added by default. No, it's wrong. If I just undo this, we're gonna get. Oh wait, this actually works. How the hell is that possible? Oh, that's the issue that we had before. Okay, okay, okay. My bad. Wait. So we have to generate a whole new token for the logged in user. Okay, I didn't know that, bro. I didn't really know that. It's fine. We have a logged in user. Now we can create our own API. So let's go and create our API key. We have a bearer token right here. I think it's already registered. I'm just gonna copy this bearer token and just save this. And let's just create a new API key. Now we have an API key as you can see. So let's grab our API key and let's copy this API key. We go to like creating link. We paste in here the API key, save it, and then let's moment of truth. Forbidden still. Oh goodness. Whoa. Could not initialize the proxy. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. We need to ask AI, bro. What the hell? What the hell he? What the hell he on? What the hell he on? What the hell he Barry? It doesn't have a free trial either. Wait, why is AI like red limiting my brother? Why is Nightbot red limiting you, bro? I don't know. Your issue is this, and I think I fixed it, bro. API is null. The condition is backward. Right now you're saying that I think I did that. Okay, fixed both problems. We're gonna say what's going on? Username. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna copy this entire fix. I don't have time to understand what's going on before leaving the transaction. Alright, I don't know what my brain is telling me, but my brain is saying that everything I did here is not correct. So, brain, what are you saying? Can we coordinate? Am I tired? Just gonna paste this. Okay, I don't know what the hell was corrected, but oh god. The context, security context holder is equals to null. Okay, we need a if check to check if the security context. We need to put this like, hey, we need to make sure that we have a loaded security context. All right, bro. Like, oh God, what's up with my brain, bro? I'm gonna start this again from scratch, and hopefully, it's going to work. So now let's go back here and listen this, and we're getting forbidden again. So this time, I think, oh goodness, let's stop this. Let's say Docker compose down. Nightbot hates you. I don't know, bro. I don't know why Nightbot is saying you spam something, and it's like automatic. It's not even controlled by me. Nightbot just comes through. If you, maybe it notices you've sent the same exact message like 3 times or 5 times. I don't know the condition. I'll have to like look at it after the stream. But yeah, I have to apologize on behalf of Nightbot. Let's go ahead. We are just on the testing phase now. We are done with everything. I'm just gonna like, oh God, we are done. So let's just register user. We have a registered user. I think this is already loaded in this login, so we can just what can we just go ahead and grab this up to this four, okay, and then go to the logged in user and paste this as our token, and then just send this request. And for some reason, okay, it's saved now. Okay, now we have that. Um, Now let's go and create the API key. Within the API key, we need to pass in the bearer token. And this bearer token, we need to just pass this exact bearer token. And the body has the the name. Let's create. Now we've created this. API key is right here. Let's copy our API key. And then let's go to creating now the link using the API key. Let's paste in this, paste here. And I think that is it. Is X API key, isn't it? Is it the same? X API key. Okay. There are no spaces, right? X API key. Let's just copy this exact text and then let's paste this here. X API key. And body, we have the link, the URL to be shortened. Okay, let's send. We're still getting forbidden. I don't know why, bro. What program admin is writing? URL shortener. Hey, can you tell me what mark you're using? Let me show you. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. About this mark. This is the mark that I'm using. Right there. Mm. Can you see though? I used to use what? I used to use M3, but I switched to M1 because M3 was a little bit weird because it had 8 GB RAM, and it's crazy because when you hear M3, it seems like it's better than M1, but is the opposite because this is M1 MacBook Pro, M1 Pro MacBook Pro, 2021 version, 16 GB RAM and 512. I'm actually gonna get a 32 GB version, and probably maybe I mean probably maybe can go at the same time, but probably at the end of this month I'll get the 32 GB version, and yeah, it's far better than the 16 GB version. So that's the only thing I'll upgrade. Otherwise, the MacBook is just fine, fine. All right. I don't know why we are still getting this, bro. It's annoying me now. Oh my God. Bro, hey man, go ahead and join the Discord. Like, if you guys are new here, you want to know more about like what we're doing, the community we're building, and the purpose behind the $5,000 that you see up there. Everything else, you can just always join the Discord. The link is up there, and yeah, just let us come say hi and join the squad, and let's grow this community together. Okay, what's going on? Transaction header will be automatically generated. Bro, this is annoying me at this point. Like, I swear I can't. I'm still getting forbidden. Like, what the hell? I fixed this, right? I fixed this and I'm still getting these stupid errors. What's going on? Dot get authorities. It's saying no session. Wait, hold on, bro. Um, what's really going on here? Security context filter. Are we really? God, my brain, I can't. I'm just gonna come here and say, I'm still getting forbidden, still getting forbidden. Let's paste this and let's try to find out why we're still getting forbidden. Your filter now looks structurally correct or structurally correct. So the next step is debugging whether authentication is actually is being set. Okay. So we need to print out this like all right, I'm just gonna copy this to see. We need to print out the actual key to make sure we have the key, but we definitely getting the key, bro. Then hit the endpoint again. Most likely the problem is matching. It's probably failing because bcrypt hashes are one way and your stored hash may not correspond to the raw key that you copied. No, not true, not true. I really doubt. Okay, let's just grab this entire do filter or whatever. That's this here. And I'm gonna stop this and just go back here, say docker compose down v, delete everything, rerun this application. So yeah, boys, if this fails, I think I'm just gonna give up this time. I'm not gonna lie. Can we just create the API key though? Can we just create the API key just like that? Let's go first to directly creating the API key, and we cannot because we need a authorization header bearer token. So we need a logged in user. If we just create this, we're gonna get forbidden because we don't have a logged in user. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create a logged in user first. Create a new user, and from there I'm just gonna copy this and go to the logged in user, grab this bearer token, and just press this bearer token and just log in. Now we have a logged in user. So I think from here we need to grab oh yeah, we're supposed to use the logged in user JWT as the bearer token to create this link. I think that should make sense. Now let's go and create this, paste the actual bearer token that we got from the logged in user. Yeah, I think they're the same thing though, right? And then the body is giving us the name. So let's just go. Okay, now we have the API key. Now let's just grab this API key and let's go and got shorten the link. So create a shorten link using our API key. So let's just go ahead and create it and we get it forbidden. So let's check what's happening. First off, we have load user by username, and that's where the problem is. So I'm just gonna copy this and let's see. I think this has failed, right? So why did I get tricked to think you're using Linux? Wait, all along you thought I was using Linux? Come on, bruh. Come on, I'm using Mac. Come on, bruh. You fix the original issue. Your API key filter is now authenticating correctly. So the new failure is completely different. This happens because your user entity is being loaded lazily from Hibernate, and by the time Spring calls this, Hibernate session has already closed. So the proper fix is do not return a lazy JPA entity directly from the Spring. Make this transactional. I need to make this validating user transactional. Okay, transactional read only true. So, but this alone may still fail if authorities are lazy. So the better is to, instead of passing your entity directly into this, convert it into user details. And I think that's what I did though, right? Then we have the API key, custom user detail service dot load by username, and then get the email. Then you can filter. Then your filter becomes username this and user details dot get authorities. Okay, yes, yes, bro. Yes, now I see. This should be like this actually. Um, we need to first convert this to like transactional. It should be read only true. Then we first get the custom user details service, and instead of user, we are gonna use user details. And then from there, we just get the custom user details service dot load user by username, and then API key dot get user, and then get the email. I think that is a better option. And then we need to change our filter as well to grab our user details, and the user details will get authorities instead of directly loading the user. I think that is now the best way to fix it. So instead of having this like so many goddamn this print statements, just gonna remove this print statement and also print statement here. I'm just gonna take this off. So also this, what's going on here? I don't really need this. I don't really need this. Okay, what's going on here? What the hell is going on? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and goddamn leave this as is. Yeah, I think so. This is correct, right? So now I need to go back to the auth JWT, I mean API key auth filter, and then make this not this, but actually the service. Yes, we need to make. Hold on, what are we making transactional? Yes, the API service. Wait, should it be the entire API service? I don't know. But let's get the private custom user details. Private, try going through debug and see how things are flying. Okay, let me just finish this real quick and then see. Custom user details service. Yes, custom user details service. That's custom user details service. And then from there, instead, where is this where we are validating? I think this should be a transactional read only, transactional, but let's leave it as is for now. I'm just gonna use here user details, and then instead of loading the actual user, hold on, how are we using it here? We are saying map.api key, and then we are saying custom user details service dot load user by username, and then passing the API key dot get user. Is that it? Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Um, let's see. Oh God, I'm getting confused right now. My brain is just not braining anymore. You change the return to optional details, but you still returning get user. So we only have to return it from here. Return custom user detail service dot load username, and then we just get the key dot get user dot get email. All right. Instead of this, we just return the custom user details service dot, oh, not that one with the lowercase. Custom user details service dot load username, and then we just pass in this, and I think that is it. Now you're returning a fully initialized user details object instead of Hibernate proxy. Then in your filter, it becomes just like this: user details and user details dot get authorities. So that is that. Let's go back here. If is equals to null, then we have APIs present, get the user. Instead of user, we're just going to use user details. We also need to call it here. We need to say private private final user details service, and we just pass in the user details. Hold on, wait. Why are we using the user details service here? Am I high? Oh my God. We just need to say user details here. But how are we using user details? User details, username, um, instead of key, right? So here it becomes user details We just passing. I think it's still the same though. User details and then user details dot get authorities. All right. I'm gonna stop this and just rerun everything again, and hopefully this will work. Oh my god, debugging is just super hard, bro. Press this. Are you applying for jobs, bro? I haven't applied for jobs at all. Like, I don't know the last time I applied for any job. Bro, fixing one line takes more time than writing 100 lines, bro. That's a big fact, man. Like, my brain is just clogged up right now. So I'm just gonna create a new user. After that, I haven't applied for any job ever since I got the other rejection email. That rejection email was so traumatizing. So since then, I took it upon myself to never get a rejection again. Okay, probably I'll get, but it won't bother me because I don't really care anymore. I'm building my own projects now, so yeah, psych. All right, let's go here and pass in the bearer token for the logged in user to create the API key. Now let's send this. All right, we've created our API key. Now we just need to grab this and copy this and just go and create the link using the API key. So now, moment of truth, my brothers. Let's click send. Forbidden. Okay. I think that's gonna do it for today. Yeah. I'm just gonna stop here. We fix the rest tomorrow. I have exams tomorrow, so I gotta really like read for exams. I feel like I've I've finished everything except the API key testing part. Is some issues with it, so we'll fix it tomorrow. Oh my goodness, my brain cannot take any. So I'm just gonna go ahead and commit these changes. So git status, I think I have a lot of changes in here. It's gonna say git add dot everything, and I'll just say git commit. And what did we add? I'm just gonna say added API key integration. I'm just gonna say added API key or created API key, added API key, added API key implementation. Is it just me, bro, or everybody has a problem writing commit messages? API key implementations and integrations. I don't know if this is even like any good English, but it's fine. Git push to the origin. We are pushing this API key branch, and there you go. Use git ls. What? How many lines of code your project? If you're curious. Oh, hold on. Git what? Wait, I should write git ls. What's that? Git ls files dash x args arguments or whatever. What the hell is that? Args wc. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know. What the hell is that? What's that? I don't know, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh, my brain can't even take anything else, boy. I'm just gonna go ahead and push these changes. We have, bro, 700 contributions, bro. Oh my god. This is crazy, bro. Like, this is the most we've coded in, like, I don't know. It's crazy. All right, I'm just gonna go here to this backend and we have a pull request. Let's compare and contrast. I don't know if there's anything else we need to do really. Let's just create a pull request and we're gonna close the pull request. I know this is gonna trip this Guardian whatever because we have our JWT whatever. I don't really care. I'm just gonna match the changes anyways. And that's fine. So the changes have been matched to the main branch. Oh, that's a tough line. So git checkout git checkout main, and I'm just gonna say git pull all the changes from the main branch. I mean from the other branches to the main branch. And we are set for today, boys. I think Oh my goodness. Just gonna close this off for now. Close this off. Close this off. Close this off. Now, I'll just refresh this and see if there's any new contribution. Yes. So for today, we are set. What do you mean, Chris? Lol? It literally counts the number of lines. Don't do it to kill the CPU. I don't know. I don't know about killing the CPU. But yeah, as the norm of the channel, we usually close off the streams with like an outro, which is a chess game. I know a lot of people love chess, others don't. But yeah, we gotta keep the norm, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and just delete the branches I don't that I don't want to use anymore. Like for example, this the API key branch. Just gonna refresh this. Yeah, the main branch is the only one. Now we have some issues that we have to fix. So we shall fix this tomorrow. And another issue as well. I have another issue to also open. That issue is that API key um link creation doesn't work. Okay. The I mean throws, let's just say throws forbidden 403 forbidden. Okay. And this is an issue that I will need to also close tomorrow. Bro, you so stupid, bro. Like, he's just weird, dog. This guy is hilarious. But yeah, go ahead and join the Discord, my boys. The link is up there. Join the Discord ASAP. And we're just gonna play one chess game and then call it a night. I can just prepare for my exams tomorrow. I have actually exams tomorrow. So I'm gonna read for the exams, not now though. I have to rest. I'll probably read in the morning because exams are like 12. So yeah, I'll just wait tomorrow, bro. I'm so tired. Or maybe later in the night. I don't know. Um, and I can run on the route. Hold on. This let's just take his gonna attack with the queen, and we attack. The queen is gonna run here. Okay, he's checking again. Let's just let's see what else is gonna play. He keeps running. I don't know what the hell you doing, brother. Just gonna play this, and I develop. Okay, now this is. I didn't know. I didn't know he was trying to target his pawn, dog. Like, alright, this is like getting annoying, bro. I sent you a screenshot example of the server alone. Yeah, man. Some people are just so annoying, dog. Like, why are you playing chess like this, bro? Alright, now I don't wanna castle this side anymore. Like, take the pawn, dog. God damn it. It's just so annoying, bro. I don't know what the hell these niggas playing, bro. God. Okay, he wants to attack here so that he can take here and then probably checkmate me. But what if I counter attack his checkmating ideas? Wait. What's the counter? Here's the thing though. What if I check him here? Nah, let me just develop this bishop. If it takes my bishop, I take his knight, right? But here's the thing though. If it takes this knight, I take his bishop. And he's probably gonna take here. Okay, I don't know what this guy is trying to cook, but yo. Okay, he's gonna lose his bishop though. I'm not gonna lie. Um, hold on. He's probably gonna lose his bishop. Because if he takes me here, I take him and then he's gonna okay, if I play here, he's most definitely gonna take here, right? And I'm gonna take him back. And what next now? If okay, hold on, let me first go here. It's gonna take here, I can just take him with this, right? And then my queen is safe. Alright, let me just play here. Let me see. Certain people are just annoying, bro. They play just to just annoy you, like God. Oh, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook him. All right. Let me take your bishop. I'll take it, bro, anytime. And yeah, God. All right, let's see how that goes. If I take him with this, if I take here, he's just gonna check me, right? He's gonna take this with check, and I'll play here, right? And yeah, he has nothing else, right? So let me just take here. Yeah, let me just take here. And if it takes here, with check, if he comes here, check, I'm just gonna play here because then he cannot come and bring his queen here. I think bishop to f4 is good. Bishop to f4 was good. Bishop to f4 would be good if it comes here though, you know? Yeah, so as you can see, I've cooked him, and yeah, I've really cooked him though. I'm not gonna lie. So I need to look for a way to target this. Let me remove my, yeah, I'm just gonna go here. Let's see what is gonna play next. He will probably just check me, and then I'll just go here. Alright, he wants to take my knight. He's lame, bro. I swear to God, he's lame. I should have just gone here, bro. Alright, let him just take the knight. I don't really care. Oh, he can't take the knight though. Oh my God, if he takes the knight, he's cooked. Oh yeah, I knew it. If he would have taken the knight, he would have been cooked. I think he saw it from here though. So, all right. I have a nice gameplay, right? I'm gonna check his. If I check him here, he's just gonna block me though. Yeah, that's the problem. Check the king, bro. If I check the king, he's gonna block me here, and then this is just like this, like a free rook for him, which is terrible, bro. I don't want to play like that. I don't wanna just risk my rook for some BS that he's playing. I think is yeah, I'm just gonna go here. You know, I'm just gonna go down. I'm just gonna go there. I thought we were programming. Yeah, I'm done programming for the day. Yeah. Quit college and be Zuck. Nah. Alright, bro. This guy is playing like he wants to win some kind of championship that I don't understand. Oh goodness, bro. Wait, what if I apply some pressure on this guy though? Because this guy is like, he's annoying me at this point. How can I apply pressure on this guy? If I go here, he's just gonna come here with his, what? Well, let me just go here. Let me just go there. Alright, I don't care, bro, about you counseling or whatever. I don't really care. Um, how about I just go here, right? Is the queen not trapped? Wait, he wants to take my pawn and then cause some problems, but I protect my pawn and I attack the queen at the same time. Yeah, that's some Hikaru shit. That's some Hikaru shit. You see, I apply pressure to his queen, but he's not trying to attack my queen at the same time, which is stupid, right? That's how Hikaru shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's something Hikaru would play, dog. Let's see what he got cooking. What if I sacrifice? Should I sacrifice this? I think I should sacrifice, right? Cause let's see. What if I protect my stuff? No, 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 no. Let me just push here though. Let me just push here. Let me just push here. I don't want to sacrifice this. I'm just gonna push this to chase this away. Alright, now let's see. Now that he's down here, he wants to like check here, and then I take, and he just takes. And what else? Okay. But obviously I cannot take because then my queen is cooked. It's not a free night, dog. It's not a free night. Trust me. Why are you calling it a free night? Why are you calling it a free night? You mean the queen is protected? By what? Oh, by this. Should I trade though? Should I trade the queens? I don't want to trade the queens. That's the problem. I want to keep my queen on board. I just wanna like wait, what's protecting the queen? Oh, this is a free night though. Yeah, this is a free night. It's a free night, bro. I'll take it. Oh my God, I didn't see that. Oh, he instead took my knight as well, which is, I don't know, GG's. Mm, okay. You know what? I have a game here though. Cause wait, this guy took the pawn. Is this guy not cooked? Holy shit, is this guy not cooked? Wait. This guy literally took this pawn, bro. If I go here, hold on. If I go here, check, he's just gonna go here, right? So that means this is literally pinned. But he wants to check me here, or maybe just he can check me here because I can cook him. But he wants to check me here, and then I'm in trouble. So let me just take this. Let me see what he's gonna play next. Yes, yes. I think I found it. Hold on, I think I found it. What is he gonna play? Nothing. Ah, should I go up here? No, let me just go here. Oh my God, and devolve, bro. Not like this. You should have took with the knight. Should have took with the knight. Bro, look at what this guy is playing, bro. Cause here's the thing though. I'm gonna take I should just play check here, check, right? But actually I think this is far better. If I play here, check. Oh, I should just let me just castle, bro. I don't want to have any trouble. Like Queen C7 is made, huh? Wait, he resigned. He knew I was gonna cook him, cause you see, as soon as I took this here, right? I was just gonna take here with check, boom, and he has to take. After he takes, boom, this is GG's. Yeah. I swear to God, I was even already thinking, as soon as I castled, he knew it was over. Queen C7 was checkmate because knight protects it. Oh, I didn't even see it. Hold on, wait, where? Queen C7 was checkmate. Queen C7. You mean for me or for the person, the opponent? I think you mean the opponent, right? Because it can't be me. If it goes here, check, I'm cooking the queen, and that's it. So I don't know what you are reading. Oh, for me. Hold on. No, the knight is not. Oh God. I missed betting one. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at I missed betting one. This is like oh God. I missed it. It happens. All right. I think the idea of this, he just knew it was like it's over. Because as soon as he plays something stupid, I take with this, but still this is protected though, so I just have to go here, right? He'll probably play something stupid, but I actually let me see. Let's say he plays this because most people just play like that, and I took with this. So what? What is he gonna play? Maybe just push a stupid pawn. Yeah, that's why he resigned. I think pushing this stupid pawn was not gonna help because this is checkmate, right? Because he can't go like this. He can come here. He can go here. It's done. GG's. Guys, like, okay, I'm done for the day. So let's call it a day, my brothers. I think we've had fun today. It's been 3 hours, almost 4 hours of streaming, bro. Like Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't know we were gonna go this far though. Like, ah, boys. Oh, my God. Ugh. I'm so tired, bro. Bro, I got like crazy colors. What the hell is this? This is yellow. This is green. This is like maroon and this is blue. It's so stupid, right? All right, man. See you guys tomorrow or next time whenever we meet. Let's call it a day. I'm out of here. Tomorrow, I think. Yeah. So